Oh yeah, baby, it's time for some drama. Oh god, I love drama sometimes. For those of you that are unaware of the series Helluva Boss or Hazbin Hotel, they are these YouTube animated series and they're huge on YouTube. They're great. I've been watching them. You guys love when I talk about them and when I watch them and stuff, so I'm just out here doing some research, okay? I know that the fandom is pretty toxic in certain ways, and I know that the haters are even more toxic than the fandom is. I have seen through the periphery of my vision, because it's not someone that I've ever really had too much focus on, I've seen this show get canceled a million times. People on Twitter being like, oh my god, bro, there takes place in hell and there's a gay guy in hell? Wow, that's pretty homophobic. Bro, you get all sorts of weird brainlet ideas and takes on Twitter and everywhere. Helluva Boss get canceled even more times than I did. Say what you will, that's something. Twitter hates everyone. Twitter hates life. Twitter just doesn't like humanity. And they're people that are sad with themselves, and therefore they go ahead to cancel others. So today, I wanted to go down a little bit of a research spiral. I wanted to look into every single drama and controversy Helluva Boss had. It involved harassment, it involved doxing, and it involved cancellations. There was art theft, and there was voice actors getting fired, and there was all sorts of crazy allegations floating around. So I want you to join me on this really crazy adventure down the rabbit hole, talking about the never-ending drama spiral of Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. People linked me to watch this. The Hazbin Hotel, Helluva Boss, Drama and Controversies Explained. And I love Helluva Boss. I love Hazbin Hotel, and I love Drama and Controversies. So I'm excited to see all this. I know that there was a lot of like voice actors quitting and stuff. I'm excited to get into it. I want to know more about the world because the last episode of Helluva Boss blew me away. So thank you all so much for being here. Let's just jump right into it.
If you've been in the Hazbin Hotel or Helluva Boss community for a while, you're more than likely familiar with some of the drama that has occurred. Controversy occurs in any fandom, but it's especially prevalent in the Helluverse fandom due to the content of the shows.
Yeah, there's no shot that the Helluverse fandom has more controversy than Genshin Impact. It's not about the material. It's about if you're owned by China.
Covered some of.
Have you seen the VTuber communities, bro? Every VTuber group individually had more drama than Hazbin Hotel.
These topics in the past. However, there are many new ones that you may not be aware of. This video will be structured in an iceberg format. If you're not aware of what an iceberg video is,
dude, why are people still explaining what iceberg videos is? Every single person on the planet knows what an iceberg video is. Don't explain it.
Fun way to present information or facts around a specific topic. The iceberg goes in descending order with different tiers. At the tip of the iceberg, you have the surface level knowledge.
Literally explaining what an iceberg is.
MatPat's Hazbin Hotel film theory. On March 16th, 2021, MatPat did a film theory on Hazbin Hotel. Although the video was positively received by his audience, to veteran Hazbin fans, content creators, team members of the show, and Vivziepop.
Ooh, I didn't know that Vivziepop tweeted herself. It's not a big deal.
Herself, it was terrible. If you
yeah, I know. I saw that MatPat video. I did not like it either.
See staff members making fun of your video, that's when you know you messed up. The video was a disaster, from getting basic facts wrong to misunderstanding the plot of Helluva Boss in general. The first issue is that the video had little to no proper research. Segments of the video just straight up didn't make sense, such as when he says that Alistair's radio voice is random, and that Vivzie probably took the idea of Alistair from Bill's cipher. A quick Google search would reveal the reasoning behind Alistair's radio voice, and would also reveal that Alistair was from Vivzie's Zoophobia series. Another example is when MatPat theorizes that IMP are the biggest threat to Charlie. IMP are a group of low-level imps and
yeah, I saw that too. I remember seeing that in his video also.
Hellhound. To think that they would be any threat to Charlie is mind-boggling. MatPat calls Stolas Solas. He also says heck of a boss, and refers to the
oh, I remember that the entire video. He didn't want to get demonetized, so he called it heck of a boss.
As the immediate murder patrol. It was pretty apparent that MatPat didn't watch either of the shows and was purely doing a video on Hazbin because it's popular. It's horrible when these large corporate channels do videos on topics without proper research, because it introduces a lot of new fans to the show, many of which are children. These viewers will enter the fandom under false pretenses. They'll believe certain story elements, and only later will they find out that what they believed in was false. The majority of the criticisms of the video could have been avoided if MatPat had reached out to a creator in the fandom, or a member of the team such as Vivzie, to just read the script over. I used to wonder why people on Twitter especially FNAF fans, were always so toxic towards MatPat whenever he made a theory on their show.
Dude, literally everyone's toxic towards MatPat.
But after watching his theory on Hazbin, I understand their feelings completely. In the past, MatPat made a theory video on For Honor, and it was pretty terrible, and was universally dunked on too. It's made me a little anxious for the future, because there's 100% going to be some horribly made theories about Hazbin when it finally releases. I at least hope if MatPat does future theories on the shows, he'll take the time to do proper research.
Well, the good news is, MatPat will probably just hire someone from the fandom to write the script for him. He does that very often, too.
FNAF Hazbin Wiki War. Back in January 2020, there was drama between the FNAF community and fans of Hazbin Hotel. This was a couple months after the
Dude, MatPat has... Okay, since we're on to the next thing, apparently there's a war between the wikis, between Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss, whatever. As far as MatPat goes, he's not malicious. He doesn't do anything wrong on purpose. He really tries his best. Yes, he made a video where he says he never watched porn before, which is a very bald-faced lie. He has his annoying quotes and his bits and his shtick, and a lot of his theories I think are very surface level and not good, but dude's just having a good time. Getting so much hate from a fandom for making mistakes, he gets it on every video now.
release of the Hazbin pilot and the first episode of Helluva Boss, so both shows were at peak popularity. A number of immature FNAF fans, many of which were children, used Discord to coordinate and raid the Hazbin Hotel wiki. The Hazbin wiki has been considered a punching bag for many years due to inaccurate information, and Vivziepop herself saying not to believe it. Although the wiki has improved gradually over time and features much more reliable information, the 2020 raid highlighted the lack of security measures. The FNAF fans vandalized the wiki and deleted many pages, created new ones, or griefed already existing pages. The majority of the pages were edited just to contain unfunny memes and other garbage, though I do like this image of Ed and Viv being swapped to Yandirdev and Scott Cawthon. Overall, this drama was quite small and harmless. However, if you're aware of the Scott Cawthon and Vivzie drama, which occurred a couple months later, this isn't the last time that the FNAF and Hazbin fandom have had disagreements. Scott Cawthon Vivziepop drama. Carrying on from the last point, the second time the drama erupted between the Hazbin community...
Why does the FNAF community hate the Hazbin community so much?
...was to do with the Scott Cawthon situation. Basically, what happened was it was revealed that Scott Cawthon made donations to controversial political figures. This led to Scott and his wife getting doxxed.
Yeah, I saw that. Scott, the creator of FNAF, donated to like a Trump rally or something, and everyone lost their mind.
Pop saw a tweet made by a friend on the topic and gave her opinion, and as a result of this, she got...
Dude, why do creators get involved in this politics? Casually setting the video to 1.25. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys! I just had to!
Got doxxed. This led to drama.
It's totally wrong to dox her. I've gotten into drama with these people doxing people and swatting people, and it's disgusting. All these communities, it's just so gross. I hope you're taking care of yourself, Vivziepop. It's not like she even said that it was right to dox him. She literally wasn't even saying it's appropriate to dox him. Of course she's against the concept of doxing him. This is just disgusting.
Between the FNAF community and Hazbin fans. Instagram accounts. There used to be official Instagram accounts run by members of the Spindlehorse team. They roleplayed as characters from both Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. They used to post fun sneak peeks, interact with each other, and provide additional lore to the show's universe. Unfortunately, they were shut down in 2020 for a number of reasons. I have an entire video dedicated to the lore of these profiles, which I'll have linked below. The two Instagrams involved in the most controversy were Octavia and Cherry Bomb. Octavia's Instagram was shut down since people started to DM it NSFW images and Stovia art. Cherry Bomb's account was shut down out of nowhere in early 2020. Shortly after it was deactivated, a random fan stole the username of the profile and started posting as if they were the official account. According to some users, Spindlehorse had to DMCA the account to take it down. However, take that with a grain of salt. Recently, Vivziepop did a number of tweets about the Instagrams. In particular, Vivzie mentioned that she regrets making them due to the issues they've caused, one in particular being the fact that the accounts are still cited as canon when they're not. She said that it's uncomfortable because information from the accounts is constantly used in lore videos about the show when it's no longer canon. Overall, the Instagram accounts have been a blemish on the history of the shows. They've allowed for some...
I don't know why. I feel like you could just kind of roll with the punches. Like, okay, so this thing that's not canon is talking about lore, and people get the lore wrong. But I get, on the other hand, she's creating a story, and she wants the story to be accurate.
World building within the fandom. However, the drama surrounding them and their eventual shutdown has led to them being something Spindlehorse would prefer to forget.
Yeah, I get that. Worth not making something like that.
Rocky Raccoon is a YouTube animator who does animations and YouTube shorts featuring characters from Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. These videos typically feature the characters dancing to a song or TikTok trend. These videos rack in crazy amounts of views, with its most popular Luna animation having 13 million views. One thing Rocky does is include cameos of characters from other shows or media, such as Poppy Playtime, Spooky Month, and Dream. There's been a lot of drama surrounding Rocky. There's been countless videos and Reddit posts made about him. The main criticisms are that his channel is a content farm, his audience are children, and that he can't take criticism. Personally, I'd agree with some of these criticisms.
I mean, so? Like, I missed the point. You're right, 100%, 100%. You're right. He's a content farm, and he's farming views with popular characters singing, dancing synced a popular song. How's that drama? That's what everyone does.
Animation, he re-uploads it over and over again. The only difference is he puts text at the top saying something stupid like only in Ohio. Uploading a video once is fine, but reposting it over and over,
You're right, it's cringe, it's fine. You're not gonna get hate for it. What's getting hate for it gonna
it
do?
definitely counts as content farming. One recent example is his video titled
Everyone does.
Is Bob Vtube Pregnant? Top 10 Ohio Moments in Helluva Boss X FNAF X Spooky Month animation memes. The thumbnail is fetish art, and the video is just a compilation of other clips he's made. The dislike ratio is pretty horrific too. Due to Rocky's content, he gets into drama on Twitter and TikTok. Rocky then responds to these criticisms in a YouTube livestream or on his community tab, which leads more people to pile on. If he just ignored them and focused on improving his content, then the people—
Dude, this is TikTok's entire model. You're 100% right. The entire entertainment industry is nothing but content farming. True. And I get it, and I get why, like, he gets dislikes, and I get why, like, people are unhappy with him and think he's a garbage content creator and all that stuff. Why would you send so much hate to this dude for doing something that I feel like everyone does to some degree?
people hating would stop. Personally, I think Rocky has real talent, and he has the potential to create something wonderful. One idea that could work would be to integrate the characters into their own show and create fun stories around that. A channel that does this type of content, which I'm a big fan of, is Pantsa Hat. They use characters from other pieces
I know that. Everywhere I go, people send me bussy memes. Everywhere!
media and combine them in a way that makes engaging content. Similarly, another animation channel for more younger viewers would be Zamination. They create fun stories featuring a variety of fan-favorite characters that everyone recognizes. I think if Rocky perhaps tried a similar idea to these two channels, he could create some fantastic content, rather than being dependent on whatever's trendy on TikTok. Art theft. This one is quite obscure. Basically, on 3 separate occasions, Spindlehorse has been accused of art theft. The first one is to do with the official Helluva Boss Streamily. Back in 2020, the Streamily used fan art made by an artist called NinjaHaku21. The artist wasn't credited at all. Twitter user Diva Cyanide did a tweet about the situation and politely asked for NinjaHaku to get credited. 2 days later, the Streamily changed the icon to a frame of the show with no explanation. NinjaHaku did a couple tweets about it and said that the situation was unfortunate, especially since they didn't contact him first or apologize. However, he said he's glad that the icon was changed. This situation was quite minor. It was a simple mistake, and it's good that the icon was changed. However, the unpaid intern or whoever was in charge of the account probably should have done more research or apologized to Haku after nabbing his art without prior consent. The second occasion is to do with some shibby—
Look, I get hate for alleged art theft on Twitter all the time because there's this whole copy pasta going out about how I stole art and stuff. I don't know if you're aware, my avatar is based off anime Sans. Okay, Sans from Undertale, but animeified, and that's been my avatar for a very, very long time. I got what I thought was fan art, but it was not fan art. It was just anime Sans that was not me, that was made by someone else and edited by someone else to look like fan art, and I used it because it was dope, and then they got upset that I used their art without permission. So I apologized. I said, like, what do you want me to do? They said, credit me. I credited them. Then I changed the art later because I didn't want to use someone else's art. And this all happened 7 years ago, and I still get canceled on it for Twitter to this day.
Pins. Artist Koto456 made some chibi designs of characters from Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. Months later, the Helluverse Twitter debuted some new chibi designs, which looked remarkably similar to the ones made by Koto. Koto did a tweet shortly after saying he wasn't contacted and it's just a coincidence. The third occasion is to do with an Alistair pin. Artist Pest Fox made an Alistair pin in November 2019. In Halloween 2020, the Helluverse account revealed a new Alistair pin which bears a striking resemblance to—
Yeah, no, they definitely do take inspirations from art. This is definitely inspired. Truth is, it's their character, and ultimately, since it's their copyright, they can do whatever they want, but this definitely should have at least warranted them reaching out to the artist and asking if they can use inspiration.
the one made by Pest Fox. Once users brought up these examples, one of the merch managers, Helix D, came out and explained that it was just a coincidence. I will have everything he said on screen, so you can pause and give it a read if you like, but basically he said that similar looking art will eventually happen, and that they didn't plagiarize fan artists. They also actively recruit and hire fan artists. So, as for my thoughts on these 3 situations, I think it's up to the viewer's interpretation. If you take a look at the pins side by side, they're incredibly similar. The Alistair example is the most obvious. I personally think the fan design looks better than the official one. I can understand why fans were annoyed. Let me know what you think of this art theft situation in the comments down below.
Dude, theft is a strong word to use. It's definitely, in my opinion, it looks like it's inspired by the fan art, which, again, they're a big company. They should have reached out to the artist and been like, yo, you mind if I use an inspiration or something similar to your art? I'm sure they would say, yeah, absolutely. And that would be it.
Fosties. Fosties was a former illustrator and visual developer for Hazbin Hotel. They were also in charge of the Hazbin Hotel comics. She was a close friend of Vivziepop for years and stopped working for Spindlehorse in 2020. Fosties would commonly livestream the creation of art or the Hazbin comics. During these streams, since she was close with Viv, Fosties would reveal bits and pieces of the lore about the show and its characters. Fosties received heavy criticism in 2020 when they announced that Alistair is aromantic asexual. According to her, Viv was scared to announce that Alistair was asexual due to backlash. Shortly after, Viv had to come out and say that nothing should be canon except what comes from her, so the situation was was quite sad. Vostes shouldn't have been harassed in the first place, and it's a bit of a disgrace that deranged shippers would go to such lengths over fictional pixels on a screen. Unfortunately, once Vostes left Spindle, she privated all of her past live streams, so years of content is now permanently lost. Added to this, since she no longer works for Viv, it's hard to tell what characters and lore she created are canon or not, so we just have to wait and see when the full show airs. Subreddits. Reddit has a large amount of subreddits dedicated to the shows. The two biggest are r/hazbin
Dude, fans are wild. I don't know, man.
and r/helluva. Since these two subreddits are the largest public forums for the shows, they've been marked as targets for people that dislike either shows or Vivziepop. During the release period of Hazbin Hotel back in 2019, really? Hazbin Hotel was rated multiple times. Haters of the show created a subreddit called r/anti-Hazbin Hotel and dedicated the subreddit to criticism and scrutiny of the show. Communities dedicated to hating a specific topic quickly become toxic, and this subreddit was a prime example of this. Posts ranged from illegal content to homophobia and racism. The subreddit was eventually set to private by the mod team, and that was the last we heard of anti-Hazbin Hotel. Another example was Gay Spider Brothel. It was a satirical meme.
Gay Spider Brothel?
A subreddit that was a spiritual successor to another subreddit called 195. On this subreddit, you would have to post a meme before clicking off the sub, meaning that the subreddit would have a constant flow of content, allowing it to quickly grow. Gay Spider Brothel's name was a reference to the many NSFW subreddits in the fandom, such as Helluva Brothel and Hazbin Brothel. The moderation team eventually left the subreddit, and it's been left dormant ever since. My personal favourite post on the subreddit was this cursed image of someone's bedroom. It gives off a menacing aura. NTSG. Like with any online community, there's bound to be
it's like a little nothing burger of a situation. Everyone gets haters.
Bad actors who will use any illegitimate method they can to grow their presence or gain money. In the Helluva Boss community, the channel most guilty of this goes by the name NTSG. I've covered this guy in depth in 2 previous videos, so I'll give a quick rundown. NTSG is a Russian channel that uploads fake or misleading videos on Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. He leaked Vivziepop's Patreon content on multiple occasions, and after I called him out on this, he made a terrible video that was not well received by the community. Since my videos on him, there's been a couple of new revelations. The first is that after my videos on him, NTSG's second channel, NTSG Live, got demonetized. Once NTSG realized he couldn't make money off the channel anymore, he immediately sold it to a viewer of his. He made a new channel called Gempkin, where he posted more leaked content. The videos were thankfully taken down by
dude's
Spin
so toxic.
On NTSG's main, he went back to posting more clickbait content. One video called New Helluva Boss, Big Update Sneak Peek Teaser Trailer is just a video of clips taken at the Level Up convention. The clickbait title is horrific on its own, but to make matters worse, he stole the thumbnail off a Twitter artist called T the Cook. In a tweet made by T, they mentioned how NTSG stole their art without credit to mislead people. NTSG stole art from them in the past previously, and they have said multiple times they don't want him to repost their work, and yet he continues to do it. Because of the clickbait title and thumbnail, the comments are filled with confused fans thinking it's a new episode when it's just a repost. NTSG's newest video is called Welcome to Hazbin Hotel Season 1 Episode 1 Sneak Peek Teaser Trailer 2023. Once again, this video is just a bunch of clips we've seen previously, however he titles it as if it's a legit trailer for the first episode. Furthermore, the thumbnail has a 1 on it, and it is themed similar to how official episodes are, so that fans will be fooled into clicking on it. Lastly, just like in the past, NTSG steals fan art to post on his community tab. As always, he refuses to credit the artists on the majority of his posts. Overall, this channel is easily the worst one in the fandom. It's a miracle that YouTube hasn't terminated his channel yet. Fixing the characters. One of the longest running criticisms against Hazbin Hotel is the character designs. This has led many users to make their own variations of the characters on sites like Twitter.
Oh dude, I've seen this. Oh my god.
The biggest example of this was in December 2019 when YouTuber Mepity uploaded a video titled Redesigning Characters from Hazbin Hotel. The video has a horrific dislike ratio.
Yeah, let's go!
Dislikes. So why was the video so hated? Well, the first reason was that the original title of the video was called Fixing Characters from Hazbin Hotel. As some users have brought up, using the term fixing is distasteful towards the original artist. You're basically saying that your art is better than theirs. Mepity eventually changed the title after the backlash, but the negative title left a bad taste in many users' mouths.
As it should. I mean, the whole point was basically to shit on the original art.
To do with the introduction of the video, before Mepity actually redesigns the characters, she spends the first half of the video discussing issues with the character designs in the pilot. Some of these criticisms are valid, however others are a little half-baked. We've heard these criticisms before, countless times, but the main ones are the colour palette being too similar, the body types being too similar, and the characters not having enough unique features. This leads us on to the main body of the video, which is her fixing the characters. I'm going to be as polite as I can, but when I show you the images, you'll be able to see precisely why the video was so heavily disliked. The first character,
what is even redesigned here?
Except for making Charlie taller and all.
Dude, literally nothing was changed. Fixing art changes nothing.
Her outfit. For Vaggie, she made her chubbier, enlarged the bow on her head, and removed some details from her outfit.
They just made her chubbier?
It was probably the worst one out of the lot.
Dude, this just looks bad.
His design just overall looks worse, and as one commenter pointed out, Mepity talked earlier about the importance of colour palettes, but proceeded to give Alistair a random coloured suit that doesn't fit his aesthetic at all. Angel Dust looks more or less the same.
Dude, I don't understand the whole point of this. They fixed nothing. They didn't even change anything, really.
He just has less details overall and a slightly altered colour scheme. Plus, he has a scarf instead of a bow tie. After the backlash, Mepity made a follow-up video 6 months later. In this video, she immediately acknowledges some of the criticisms put against her and admits she made some mistakes. The redesigns this time are a lot better. I personally like her Vaggy design, it's really pretty. However, I'm not a fan of Alistair's. He looks like he belongs in a has-been roleplay wiki. This video was definitely an improvement, however, it is still not without its issues. As some commenters pointed out, the overall tone of Mepity's wording was a bit rude. Some of her excuses don't really measure up either. Mepity says the reason the video was so badly made was because she drew the art at 4 AM. That's not really
that's not an excuse, bro. You made the video.
good excuse, and if that was a problem, she could have just held off on making the video. The second point is that when confronted with the fact that her original video was clickbait and offensive, she says that she deliberately made it clickbait so that it would get a reaction. She says the video was successful and the money made from it helped pay for her college housing, which is awesome. However, you can make engaging videos without being offensive or clickbaiting your audience.
I mean, this is partially true, but on the other hand, you have to make sure it's worth it. Is it worth it? Making a video that'll get you backlash, but make you money? Is that worth it? Ruin your reputation, but maybe give you an extra $1,000? It goes to show where your priorities are.
The third issue is the framing of the video. The first half of the video is the actual redesigns. However, the next 20 minutes is her discussing criticism she received. If the video was just her apologizing and then Mepity showcasing her new designs, it would have been a fantastic video, but the second section sours the entire thing. It's a bit odd for her to apologize for riling people up, but then proceed to god defend her original video into the grave. Like, she should have just admitted that she messed up, and that was it. Overall, the situation is a cautionary tale about why it's important to give constructive feedback, especially when people criticize Vivzi's designs, but proceed to make an inferior version themselves. It would have been interesting to see Mepity's thoughts on the new official redesigns of the characters for the final show. However, she's quite inactive on her YouTube channel, unfortunately. Has-been hate dump. This is a topic I'll probably address in its own video in the future, but if you've been in the community for any amount of time, you'll be aware of the has-been hate dump. Basically, anytime either Has-been Hotel, Helluva Boss, or Vivziepop are mentioned on sites like Twitter, a cyber mob will appear to remind everyone how bad the shows are.
That's just literally anyone. Dude, it's so cringe, bro. What? Everyone just hates on everything on Twitter. If this is counted as drama, then bro, I am a literal holocaust of drama. If getting hate on Twitter for your show is counted as like drama and controversy, then damn, bro.
The most recent example of drama was to do with Vivziepop's naming of Vaggy. In a tweet made on February 22nd, a user said, Vivziepop, after naming her only lesbian character Vaggy, aka Vagatha, and making her main personality traits being hating men and liking her girlfriend. The tweet racked up over 5,000 likes, and the creator eventually deleted the tweet. However, the quote retweets were full of people comparing Vivziepop to J.K. Rowling. The comparison obviously makes no sense at all, but the point about Vaggy's personality is bizarre. Like, the Has-been Hotel pilot was just a pilot. Twitter users seriously expect a 20-minute pilot to include deep lore and plot development. It's meant to set the stage for the rest of the series and introduce everyone to the universe. Vaggy hating men isn't her entire personality. The entire point is that she has trust issues, which we'll see developed on in the full series. These people expect every character to be either 100% evil or 100% good. You can't have any nuance or character development. In December 2021, the original Has-been pilot voice actors released announcements confirming that they were let go of the project and not be in the final show. While fans were sad that the voice actors for Nifty, Cherry Bomb, Charlie and Alistair were gone, none of the announcements hit as hard as Kovac's. Angel and Kovac were extremely beloved by the fans, and many were sad and angry that this happened. Some more hardcore audience members perceived the firing as a betrayal by Medrano, and there was speculation that her having Broadway stars and actors, especially Norman Reedus in Helluva Boss, went to her head and that she only wanted that level of star power in her show. Some users proposed the concept that she ditched her friends that helped her once she gained her success. While many were livid, others defended Medrano, saying that the VAs were not part of the SAG-AFTRA union and therefore could not be legally hired. Personally, I think the reason they were replaced was to maintain a higher level of consistency in the show. If you have a professional production, it makes sense to hire Broadway actors with
I don't know. I do think it is the star power, if I had to guess. Look, I don't think it's a betrayal of friends, but I do think it's like a star power idea.
Experience in musicals, which is what Vivzi is currently doing. The pilot voice cast consisted of internet personalities and cameos, which was great for pitching the concept of the show. However, for a final release, it makes sense to hire experienced actors to simplify the already overcomplicated process of having both a singing and speaking role for so many of the...
There are online content creators that could sing and speak. I do feel like it is more for the star power. Maybe I'm wrong.
Characters. Overall, the situation was quite sad. One thing people mention frequently is the lack of official content versus the overwhelming amount of fan content. This means that fans will never be happy with the final product. Although I don't necessarily agree with this take, there definitely is a subsection of the fandom that are too attached to the pilot and won't be happy with the full thing. It's important that we put our trust in the Spindlehorse team to deliver something awesome. From the sneak peeks we've seen so far, the show looks great, and I put my faith into Vivzi picking a stellar voice cast to represent the characters we know and love. Episode drama. Including the pilot, there's been 10 episodes so far of Helluva Boss. Typically, the episodes have been released smoothly, however, there's been some drama surrounding a few of them. The first episode that led to controversy was the Shrub episode, Season 1, Episode 4. This episode is featured quite low on tier lists, and personally, for me, it's one of the weaker ones.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the weaker ones.
The main criticisms include the episode being released too soon after the previous, the Shrubs were weaker villains, and the episode didn't serve a purpose in the wider lore. I cover the Shrub episode a bit more in depth in my episode ranking video, but this episode was the first one where people started to seriously criticize the show. The next next episode was Season 1, Episode 7, Aussies. I personally love this episode.
Bro, this was such a good episode, what?
However, this one caused a lot of discussion and controversy within the community. The two main issues is that many people criticize it for focusing too much on Stolitz, and the fact that the episode was part 1 of a 2-part series. Stolitz was a central theme in previous episodes, but the finale was the episode that really cemented it as a main part of the show. This was controversial, with people saying that the show was being derailed in favour of Stolitz. The second issue was that it was the first part of a 2-part finale. As of 2023, the second part is still indefinitely postponed, and once news of the finale being delayed was announced, many fans were angry at Spindlehorse or just dropped the series. Similarly to Aussies, every episode from then on has been involved in drama. Season 2, Episode 1 is no different, with drama exploding surrounding the content of the episode once again being focused on Stolitz.
That
this
is
led
so
to some
cringe.
YouTuber viewers making negative reviews of the episode. One example being a video titled "The Episode That Ruined Helluva Boss." This video has a horrible dislike ratio, and the main reason is the clickbait title and the actual content of the video featuring some bizarre criticisms. The video was heavily criticized on Twitter by fans. Many of these tweets are deleted unfortunately, but Vivziepop herself gave her opinion as well. The most recent episode, Season 2, Episode 2, once again had some—
Dude, I think Vivziepop needs to stay a little bit away from the community. When people make videos criticizing the show and she shows up sometimes, that's playing with fire.
drama associated with its release. Once again, negative reviews were made on the episode, and in particular, the relationship of Stolas and Blitz was put into question. With each episode of the show releasing, it feels like more drama surrounds the characters and the lore. This trend will most likely continue into the future. Hazbin Helluva leaks. Back in January of this year, leaked content surrounding Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss was posted onto the internet. They quickly spread to Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube. The leaks consisted of storyboards and audition sheets. The majority of this content was taken down via the copyright system. However, for many fans, including myself, it was a shame to see content that wasn't supposed to be revealed months into the feature getting spoiled. It was especially upsetting when people started to reply to official tweets about Hazbin with the leaks. This meant that many unsuspecting fans would check the replies of the tweet and get spoiled, ruining their enjoyment of future plot development.
Of course, 4chan.
This situation overall was very disappointing. It was a massive slap in the face to the Spindlehorse team, who've spent years developing the characters and lore for us to enjoy.
Yeah, that's
Shipping
sad.
wars. Shipping has been a long-standing contentious point within the fandom. For those who are unaware, shipping refers to the act of pairing certain characters together romantically. Examples of canon ships in the fandom are Blitzo and Stolas,
Stolas is the best boy.
Moxie and Millie, and Vaggie
Millie is best girl.
and Charlie. Many fans create their own fan pairings in their head and ship characters together who might have some chemistry. One popular example being Husker Dust, which is the pairing of Husk and Angel Dust. Shipping on its own is fine and can lead to some amazing fan art and fun
Yeah, I don't
stories.
know. I
However,
hate
like with anything
shipping. I'd never do it. I don't like it. If you want to do it, go for it. Don't be toxic when your ship doesn't work out, though. There's so much like Deku Bakugo shipping where they are like the most toxic people in the My Hero community.
on the internet for people to take it a step too far. Examples include
It's his dad! It's him and his dad is being shipped? Bro, no, bro. This is fake. This is fake. Today's problematic shit. This is not real. No one actually is shipping these characters.
problematic pairings such as Octavia and Luna, or Octavia and Stolas. Added to this, some fans refuse to accept the canon pairings as canon. One example being Charlie and Vaggie. Despite being confirmed as canon, I've seen fans refuse to acknowledge it as canon on countless occasions.
Who
As mentioned
cares?
previously in the Iceberg video, when Fostis confirmed that Alistair was asexual, it led to drama within the fandom as some shippers liked shipping Alistair with characters like Charlie. Vivziepop herself had to come out and discuss shipping in a 2018 tweet. In the tweet, she mentioned how ship bullying is starting to become an issue, and that she believes you should do what you want, provided it's not hurting anyone. Shipping
Based.
has been a constant issue, and with the full release of Hazbin being right around the corner, it's likely that drama surrounding shipping wars will continue into the future. So
Yeah.
that's the entire Iceberg covered. This video took quite a while to research, because some of the controversies discussed were quite obscure. It was a lot of fun to make, so I hope you were able to learn something.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, what I'm seeing here is that you didn't include the controversies from that it's edgy and that there's like a lot of like homophobes in hell and stuff. And the answer to that is, well, they're in hell. There's been a lot of controversy revolving this show, but from my personal experience, there isn't really a lot of hate headed their way. Criticism of episodes, that just literally comes with anything. This whole situation is cringe. I didn't see any legitimate criticisms or crazy dramas that they got into. I think Vivziepop needs to chill from tweeting. Please chill. Don't talk about politics and any of that. Just make your content and have fun. Please, for your own safety. Helluva Boss recently released the final episode of Season 1, and it was a banger. It was a great episode all around. I loved it. And I was surprised to know that it got into a lot of drama online, and the reason is simple. The character Beelzebub, right? This handsome lady over here that I wouldn't smash because I'm not a furry, but if I was a furry, I would like, oh, God. She got into a lot of drama online because she is like the queen of freaking gluttony, and they're like, wait a second, she's the queen of gluttony, but why isn't she fat? I would say that all of the fat that she would have built due to her gluttoniness went straight into her ass. Yes, she got into a ton of drama. So anyway, let's see. Hey, Lamau, my favorite drama Helluva Boss channel. So let's see what we got here. Disclaimer, please harass everyone. Got it.
So recently,
That was a joke. Don't harass anyone.
Vivziepop received some.
God damn it. Look how thick she is. Like, holy shit. Bro, she packing, she clapping, she alerting every guard on the planet. I mean, she's a bee and furry, and I am not attracted to any of this. Not her boob window, not her boobs, not the thickness, not... Oh my god, dude, look at her eyes, bro.
Over the design of Beelzebub in the newest episode of Helluva Boss. As a result, she did a thread discussing some of the design choices. In this video, I'll show everything that happened and then give my thoughts after. So to start things off, the newest episode of Helluva Boss came out a couple days.
God, it's like she shows us her ass, knowing that we would not be attracted to it at all because I'm not a furry.
The episode was well received, however, some criticism was put on Vivziepop and the show because of the design of Beelzebub. Basically, what would happen is a fan would tweet about the show or post images of B, and Twitter users would quote retweet the post and bash the show. I'll show you a couple examples. Here's one tweet with 12k likes. It says, B is so hard to understand who she's meant to be. Another tweet said, Vivziepop's animation team, when she designs another multicolored demon with stripes and multiple limbs and needs VFX done for its hair that's in several shots of the new cartoon.
I literally don't understand any problem with this.
This tweet got 15k likes, however the person deleted it eventually. The next one says, Queen of Gluttony, and she's the thinnest bitch you've ever seen.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I saw going around. People out there roasting gluttony. Dude, the concept of thin gluttony characters is like a concept older than time. Yes, I understand that a lot of gluttony's portrayals in different media, like like he's this fat jlub flying around, right? Alright, I got you. But, like, dude, have you seen ReZero? ReZero's, all the gluttonies are super mega thin. Every single one of them is this tiny. Isn't Gluttony, the Witch of Gluttony, is like a lolly?
Which got 24k likes. The last example I'll show says, how does Helltaker of all games, have a better Beelzebub design than Vivziepop?
What? Helltaker Beelzebub is this still furry cat too? What? Wait a second. This is the Helltaker Beelzebub. Yeah, oh, man. Dude, look, oh, Helltaker Beelzebub is such a much more demonic design. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. I get it that there's this crazy, this form. All right, I got the form, but, like, you look up Helltaker Beelzebub and you get this primarily.
This tweet got 17k likes. So as you can see, the discourse surrounding the episode turned a bit sour on Twitter. As a result, Vivziepop did a couple tweets.
Twitter's so toxic, dude. You gotta stop looking at Twitter if you want any form of legitimate criticism.
It's about it. One fan talked about how the Sins, the leaders of the 7 Rings of Hell, aren't stereotypical and have unique designs. Vivzie quote retweeted this saying, designing each Sin is a fun challenge in how to do something new. I know the demonology, I know what's been done. I actively try to stay true to certain themes, but do something different as I can. Each is also based on a circus act to form a collective troupe ruled by Lucifer.
Wait a second, so a person that's creating a series that's a new series, basing designs on new things and new concepts, is getting hate for basing designs on new concepts?
Another fan replied and said that there's a lot of hate of Viv's designs. Viv replied with, people have hated my designs for a long time. They do tend to have a lot on them, which works more on some than others. Bigger characters tend to have a lot going on, like the Sins. Being based on lore, there's always an expectation, but this is my world and I'm doing it my way.
Based Viv. Although, you know what would be even more based of Viv? Not responding at all.
One Twitter user replied and said Lucifer and the ringleader concept is cool. Viv said, thank you. I honestly don't mind when people don't like them, but everything is intentioned clearly for this world. They fit for this hell and I'm having fun with them. Someone asked if B is a tightrope act. Viv responded with, B represents the animal trainer / animal shows of a circus. All around her mansion are hoops and rings and she flies through one. One person says they're excited for future Sin designs. Viv responds with, of the Sins left to see, I think Leviathan and Satan are the most traditional in sticking with the usual themes, but still working on finalizing them for an eventual upcoming episode. Following on from that tweet, Viv made a second one. She said, the only comment I'll really make on redesigns is making Beelzebub a bee is kind of just inaccurate as making her a bee fox. The real depictions were more like a giant fly or a big man surrounded by flies. So maybe go that direction if accuracy is your gripe. Have fun.
Yeah, it's like everyone's saying accuracy is your gripe. Dude, this is based on demonology, okay? Listen, anyone out there that's met Beelzebub personally, and saw him and is like, yeah, I don't know, this doesn't work, bro. I don't know. Dude, this is demonology, okay? This is a fantasy story that she's writing. She can do whatever the hell she wants. She could take inspiration from one thing and then make the art based off a completely different thing. See, I hate using the freedom of expression argument, because that usually devolves into some really heinous shit. It's like, I believe in free speech and therefore murder. Yeah, no, we're not getting into any of that shit. But like, dude, she can do whatever she wants. No one is forcing you to watch her show.
One user responds saying the designs are just bad. Viv says, fair enough, lol.
Dude, you could have your criticism, all right?
Another user replied to Viv saying B doesn't look like an insect, but a fox and a fairy. Viv says, that's a fair want, but in the design, a lot of it is insect. It's really just her face that's fox. Originally, her tail...
I don't know about that, but I don't think that's a criticism. It could be a fox bee if you want it to be.
had more stripes, but for the sake of complexity, that was removed for this appearance. When she gets big, her eyes go full bug, but she isn't in that form long. In another reply, Viv says, in some texts, Beelzebub is the name for the actual devil, kind of like Satan/Lucifer are both names used for the devil. So in some depictions, Beelzebub is just a very classic looking demon. There's literally no way to do it 100% accurate to lore because it depends what lore you use. The same user from earlier said Bee's design is too complex. Viv says, I think it's context. Her eyes are designed after beehives and end in antennas. She's amongst her people and her circus act is animal trainer. So I wanted to make her a fox to slightly separate her from the hounds.
Honestly, I don't know why she gets so into the Twitter drama. I feel like that's the biggest possible L in this situation. I know this, exactly. I get so much shit every day on Twitter. Literally every day. I just don't react to it because why? I don't look at most of it these days. I feel like you should not engage with this stuff. It's always gonna make it worse. You know, all these people are poking and prodding you because they know they're gonna get a reaction out of you. Ultimately, though, you can do whatever the hell you want. I just don't feel like this is a good way to handle criticism.
Facts are more on display. I could dissect every single decision made about the design because I had a lot of fun with it. Lava Lamp Belly because of her free spirit and fast burning of food to be constantly indulging. Dots over eyes for bug detail. Her extraness from how she's a throwback to my early work. The point is, I don't mind if people don't like the design, the colours, the theme. It's different and it's excessive. But that was the point. It was all intended, and there is more to the design than some are giving credit for, and I felt like pointing that out. One of the design leads on Helluva Boss, Donna, points out that IRL, Beelzebub is associated with flies, because they used to be a god, which was mocked and called the Lord of the Flies. Viv says, spitting hard truth and facts. Donna herself made a long thread. I won't go into detail on it for the sake of time, but I'll have it on screen, so feel free to pause and read in your own time. Vivziepop quote retweeted the thread saying, Donna making good insightful threads. One user replied again about B, and Viv says, the shape and stripes, but if it didn't read, it's fair enough, it's subtle. Viv did one final reply. She said, I think people just assume I'm seething with rage when I tweet or explain things. I just like to talk. It's chill, I'm used to it. If I do ever sass, it's cause I'm so used to bad faith and I'm over it. But right now, I just think it's fun to talk about what went into the character design. So that's all of Viv's tweets. As for my thoughts, I think we got some cool insight into the designs of the show. The fact that the Seven Sins are based on a circus act troupe ruled by Lucifer is really cool, and I think this is the first time it's been revealed. Personally, I didn't pick up on some of these references, and I don't think many viewers did, but it's cool that they're there nonetheless. I can't wait to see the rest of
I don't really think there were a lot of references, to be honest.
the sins in future episodes.
My impression was that she took these names of these demons, she kind of based them on the 7 deadly sins, and then she kind of ran with it and made whatever the hell she wanted. And that's totally fine and legitimate. When making a character, she wanted a character that would stand out and sell more merch and be a fun personality, much more than she wanted some lore accurate, incredibly serious, focused demon guy that's exactly fitting all the legends and the lore, and I just think that's what her perspective is through this show. That's totally legitimate.
As for the general discourse, I think there is some genuine criticism, but like with everything on Twitter, this got drowned out by the people who clearly don't watch the show just showing up to bash on it. Personally, I like B's design, but I do understand why some people aren't a fan of it. Overall, I thought Viv's thread was quite interesting, and it's cool that we got some additional info about how characters like B were developed. If you have any thoughts on Viv's tweets or what I've said, let me know in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I don't know. Her design was awesome as a character, not as a Beelzebub reimagining, not as a demon lord of gluttony, you know, lore accurate drawing. Dude, have you seen biblical angels? Like, every time you get, it's like, oh my god, you know my complaint? It's so difficult, because when I watch Digimon and I'm like jerking off to Angel Woman all the time, I see Anja Woman, I'm just like, oh man, look at those thighs though. I'm just jerking off to this shit all the time, and then I'm just like, it's just not a biblically accurate angel. I want to jack off to this. Dog, this is art, okay? It's not supposed to be canonically accurate. It's whatever the creator decided they wanted to do. Yeah, that part of the argument I thought was the most cringe. Vivziepop responded to more criticism. Helluva Boss is a story that takes place in hell, where all the people there are in hell. Hell is a place that, as known by literally everyone, is bad. Now, Vivziepop, being that she is tackling a darker storyline, I guess, it gets into lots of drama, she gets lots of hate, and in my opinion, one of the biggest mistakes she makes is that she interacts with it all the time. Every time she gets hate for something, she jumps in to, you know, talk about it and say her piece. And quite frankly, I think that that is destructive, because then the haters see that she is actually targetable, she is actually harassable, she is actually affected by the hatred that they give. We are going to be jumping right into it now.
Nearly a week ago, I did a video showcasing Vivzi's tweets regarding Beelzebub and the criticism of Helluva Boss Season 1, Episode 8. Since
my biggest complaint with Beelzebub from Helluva Boss is that there's not enough porn of her. And the porn of her that is there makes her too furry.
And she made a couple more. In these, Viv discussed some of the criticism she's received regarding Hazbin and Helluva, along with teasing some upcoming songs in the shows. So to start things off, Viv confirmed that Helluva Boss is created for an adult audience. Basically, for context, a minor was complaining on Twitter that the show scares them and has adult themes.
Well, too bad, don't watch it!
There being warnings.
There's YouTube Kids! You don't need to watch this, it's not on YouTube Kids!
For every episode that it's not suitable.
She didn't need to add to this, because it shows that this bothered her, so more people will jump on this train to bother her. Yes, everything she's saying is correct, but don't get your hands dirty! Dreamer over here already eviscerated whoever this person is, okay? Dreamer already kicked this individual's butt. The Redditors are literally cheering when she does this, because it just opens her up as a more vulnerable person online. Don't fuel the fire, Viv. Come on, trust me, bro.
After this, a random Twitter user said that Vivzi profits off minors. They got quote retweeted by a fan who said that Viv and Spittlehorse aren't going to baby their kid. If they're a moron who ignored content warnings, that's on them. Viv saw this exchange and said, I love accounts like this because I've never seen someone embody Karen energy this hard for a cartoon before. Just stop watching. In a follow-up reply, she said, my shows are adult 100%. In content...
She explains it so much. Dude, you have the warning at the beginning of every single one of the Helluva Boss videos. You do not need to do this. Do not humor the people on Twitter. Do not humor the idiots.
Language and yes, humor. We are aware it has young adult appeal. Literally, why wouldn't it?
Although that criticism was mega cringe. I hope that you're not taking this, my insight into this situation, as me saying that Vivziepop's in the wrong. Viv's in the right. I just wish he wouldn't subject yourself to this by actually responding.
Full of edgy demons and it's gay AF, but it's not for kids. It's never been for kids, never will be. We have warnings, that's all we can do. A Twitter user replied that the show's humour consists of just penis jokes. They deleted their reply, but Viv responded saying, I mean it's fine if you don't think that's funny, you do you. But I love that you people see like 3 dick jokes in a series and are like, wow, this show is penis, laugh, lol. Like, get new material for the love of God, lol.
Like, why? Don't respond to these people. If someone's... Dude, you have any idea how many people try to say that I'm not funny? Whether you think I'm funny or not, I don't care. I do my own thing. I think I'm funny, and I don't really care if you don't. Obviously, some people do, because some people subscribe to me. Some people think I'm funny. Some people think I'm not funny. And frankly, when people tell me I'm not funny, I live with that. This comment is just saying, her dirt, Helluva Boss. The humor's not great. And her response is this whole long, drawn-out talking about why the comedy is actually better than that. Why? Why do you respond? Why do you give them the light of day?
LOL. Viv said that the reason she was responding more to criticism on Twitter is because, quote, it's the last day of Pride Month, feeling some vibes, gonna get some mileage.
Whatever that means.
Another user brought up the humour in the show. Viv replied with, a lot of people take issue with X's and O's, and again, if you don't think it's funny, that's fair. but some people do. Like literally my favourite joke in the episode is a sudden cut to Krum's evil stare, surrounded by the pistoning dildos. Humour is subjective, crazy I know. She followed up with, X's and O's definitely has more than the average episode between the dildos and Chaz, but even then there's really only a few highlighted jokes. The dicks existing on screen doesn't count, haha. Still, I get not liking it, that's entirely up to personal taste though, which is my point.
If that is your point, then you wouldn't respond at all.
So moving on to June 30th, fans are hyping up a potential trailer or announcement for Hazbin Hotel. Instead, we got a post from the Hazbin Hotel Twitter of Angel Dust and Charlie celebrating Pride Month. Many fans felt a bit let down because of this announcement. Twitter users pointed out,
that's not an announcement, it's literally just art of the characters on Pride Month because they're gay. What? That's not an announcement.
That Viv and the team aren't in charge of marketing, so this is why the marketing team dropped the ball. It's probably A24 or some other company doing the teasers. Viv responded with a praying emoji to one comment. So Viv continued discussing the humour in X's and O's.
Oh god, the humour. Why are you discussing the humour?
The reply, she said, that was literally the punchline. The contrast of how dark the scene was, how he tried to hide the sounds and visuals until the sudden cut back to Krim. It was intentional. It's the hardest laugh in the episode for me, and it only hits because of how much it contrasts. That said, if you don't think it was funny, that's okay, but that was done on purpose. It was a joke and it worked for a lot of people, myself included. One Twitter user replies that Viv is saying that her stuff is good and people don't get it. Viv says, LOL what? The user replies again that Viv is combining people that criticise with the trolls. Viv says, I've literally never said that. It's people like you that insist that's what I'm saying, no matter how many times I try to acknowledge the validity of criticism. It's not saying everyone who doesn't like it doesn't get it. To point out some shit was intentional and subjective. Another user talked about character redesign.
You see, like, this entire situation of this person saying that you're not being against trolls, you're going against critics now. You're saying that you can't criticize Helluva Boss either, because when you say I don't find Helluva Boss funny, all of a sudden you're talking about how, well, you just didn't understand the humor. Your IQ is not high enough, which obviously isn't something she was saying, but if she wouldn't have said anything at all, they wouldn't have even had the ability to open their mouth and talk about that's what she was saying. She started this thread. This thread comes because she responded to a hate comment for no reason.
It doesn't get it. To point out some shit was intentional and subjective. Another user talked about character redesigns and how some people received hate for creating them. Viv said, I don't like that people are getting hate just for redesigning. That's lame. But that also isn't anyone working on the show's fault. We didn't ask anyone to redesign these characters. It's a choice. No matter what reason they choose to do it, that isn't our business. The user says the team and Viv should ignore the redesigns. Viv says, I think you underestimate the sheer amount of vitriol levied at the team and the show and how utterly hurtful it is. You can't just say, then just stay silent when neither the design nor the hate is their fault. They are allowed to be frustrated at blatant rudeness, that's all. User says that they haven't seen many people being rude. Viv says, you really haven't seen it. Trust me, it's there in abundance.
Dude, trust me, it's there in abundance too, but I don't respond to them mostly, which is why it's not brought to the forefront. Which is why, I guess, more people aren't probably jumping on it.
Again though, harassment shouldn't be happening on any end of the discussion, but an indirect comment of frustration is hardly doing any harm. The user says that they should ignore them. Viv says, I mean, it's really not their responsibility to act like feelingless beings, to uphold and police the comfort of fan artists, and saying things like they can express like, and dictating appropriate language is very disconcerting. I'm just a little lost on what your goal is here. The user makes a blanket statement that all redesigns are done in good faith. Viv says, the fan artists aren't at all a collective hive mind, doing it for the same reasons though. Some are being full on rude and mean. Your logic only applies to some, it's impossible to apply to everyone. The team hasn't called for fans to be harassed, just that it's uncool to be rude. A Twitter user says Stola Sings had a profound impact on them. Viv says, oh just you wait, hinting at a new Stola song that's very sad. On July 1st, Viv did a tweet saying, I feel like I make this kind of vague hype tweet every time I get a completed song back from the songwriters, but the songs coming up in the second half of Helluva Season 2 slaps so hard in my opinion. I cannot wait until they're out in the world. In reply she said, I love all the music, but not all of it. I go back to listen to just because it's so contextual to the episode and best in full glory for me. But
I don't know, for me the Asmodeus song is still peak.
Starting episode 7, I literally listened to the songs on repeat. Y'all in for some treats. One user replies that they can't wait to see Fizz sing again. Viv says he has some bangers. Twitter also wasn't working for most of the day because of a new rate limit change. Basically, this change made it so that if you don't pay for Twitter Blue, you can only view a certain amount of tweets on your timeline. Otherwise, the website becomes unusable. Viv tweeted saying, Twitter is still working for me, but the way it's seeming, it'll finally be unusable soon. This really is my one place to see and support the fandom. Maybe I'll consider making a Discord. I won't interact much if I do, but I'd love a place people can still be seen. She did one more, but it's just her saying for mutuals to add her on Discord in case Twitter goes under. So basically from these tweets, Viv is saying that she might make a fan Discord server. Personally, I think this is a bad idea. My server has been under...
Yeah, Viv seems like a really good person that's getting caught up in all this stuff for no reason, and it's annoying and it's sad. But a Discord server is a problem.
Constant raids, and it has around 13,000 members. If Viv makes one, it'll easily hit 50k plus and will be a war zone. I think posting announcements on the helluva and hazbin subreddits would be a better idea. So yeah, those are all of Viv's tweets. We got some teasers regarding upcoming songs, and we also got some clarification on why certain scenes were created in specific ways. Overall, I think Viv's threads were quite helpful. I've seen people say that Viv should take a break from Twitter, and I think that could be a good idea. Although these threads are done in good faith, they're commonly used against Viv to say that she can't take criticism. The next episode...
There we go. And that whole complaint of can't take criticism is only because she's stoking the cold.
Helluva Boss appears to be near completion, so taking a break until closer to its release might be a good idea. If you have any thoughts on the threads, let me know in the comments section down below.
My thoughts on the threads that they were kind of nothing burgers, but she shouldn't have gotten involved with it anyway. Nothing good is gonna come from it. It's just gonna make people realize that you're actually accepting the criticism, you're actually feeling the criticism, and that they're gonna just continue to yell and hate for no reason. You don't give them anything. You give them a thumb, they'll want a hand. You give them a hand, they'll want an arm. There's nowhere to go and no one to talk to. You either shit on them or just let them scream into the void. The moment you actually respond with logic, you lose. I'm really glad this dude covers the drama, Lamau, because I am not going to be looking the annals of Twitter for this stuff. Like, it's so funny that even though I guess I'm a fan of Helluva Boss, I am definitely much more of a casual fan than I would have expected. Because, you know, I'm a guy, I watch all the episodes. Some of the episodes I watch more than once. Some of the songs I listen to even not watching the episodes. And I guess I'm still kind of a casual fan. So I'm glad that this dude, Lamau, does a good job covering it. So... Hazbin Hotel's marketing is concerning. As someone that markets stuff for a living, because that's essentially what making YouTube videos is all about. Let's see what we got.
The Hazbin Hotel hasn't been advertised or marketed much. In this video, I'll show...
I actually did notice that. See, as a casual fan, not like one of the hardcore degenerates over there that fapping to freaking angel dust hentai every day. I only do it like once a month. Max. Hazbin Hotel's pilot came out years ago, and I literally know absolutely nothing about where it's coming out, when it's coming out, what platform it's gonna be on, and I suppose that's true. Hazbin Hotel's marketing is concerning. I literally have no idea about it at all.
Here's her tweet, and then get into my thoughts after. In her tweet, she says, I can't say as much as I'd like about Hazbin. I wish I could, but trust me when I say the second I can, I will be promoting the heck out of it. I want you guys to see things as much as you do. It's been painful to sit on so much. Just hang tight. I promise it'll be worth it. Her second reply says, I'm just really glad for now I'm able to bring you lots of Helluva Boss in the meantime. So basically, from what Viv has said,
dude, I want to get more episodes of Helluva Boss. If they could churn out episodes of Helluva Boss at double the time, I would be very happy. It's a show that needs more episodes. Like, I think that the plot progression is moving at a fine speed, but we also need all of the episodic storylines happening as well. And I feel like we don't have them so often.
She's most likely under a non-disclosure agreement, so she can't discuss Hazbin Hotel or its marketing. Advertisements are probably handled by another team or company, which is why the advertising has been so poor. This tweet was likely made because of rising concerns from fans because of the lack of a proper release date, trailer, or streaming platform for the show. So with the tweets out of the way, it's time to get into my thoughts. A month ago, I did a video showcasing some of the issues with Hazbin's marketing. Since then, things have gone from bad to worse. I'll have that video linked below if you'd like to watch it, but the main point was that A24 has a unique marketing style. A24 is known for letting its indie projects thrive and giving lots of creative freedom. Instead of spending millions on extravagant campaigns, A24 prefers to let their shows get advertised via word of mouth or through viral memes.
Wait. Letting it get advertised through word of mouth, isn't that just how everything gets advertised aside from the actual advertisement?
So tend to release trailers for their shows a week before they actually air.
They release shows a week before the shows air? Talk about low effort advertisement. That's how YouTubers advertise videos that they're making.
Strategy obviously works for them because they have a selection of popular shows under their belt. However, with Hazbin, I don't think this tactic has paid off. Hazbin Hotel is in a unique position where it's been in development for about 10 years. As a result, it has this huge fanbase and community associated with it. Most shows or movies don't have this until well after release, whereas with Hazbin, they have this huge audience before we've even reached the starting line. Although the fanbase will hype up the show for free, it also comes with expectations. At the moment, these expectations aren't being met. The fans are angry, and Viv and the team can't say anything because of an NDA. Releasing a trailer a week before the show airs is too late in my opinion. I think this situation has highlighted the difference between indie versus non-indie. Helluva Boss is an indie project funded by YouTube views, Vivziepop's Patreon, and revenue from merchandise. Whereas Hazbin Hotel was funded by A24, a large company. Helluva Boss has been largely successful, however there have...
I am scared that they corporatize Hazbin Hotel. I think some of the beauty of Helluva Boss is the fact that it is an indie. The fact that it is a individual animated story on YouTube, funded literally by its own popularity. That's the dream. Take the power from the mega corporations that are churning out garbage content. They jump into the septic tank to pull out the most lukewarm, garbage ass content they possibly can. The beauty of indie animation is it gives the individual's ability to thrive.
Been some hiccups. One recent example being the name debacle regarding season 1 episode 8. Basically what happened is during the episode some new Hellhound friends were introduced for Luna. Their names weren't spoken in the episode. As a result, fans asked on social media what their names were. This led to one Spindlehorse artist confirming that the female poodle character is called Esme. Shortly after this tweet was deleted, random sock puppet Twitter accounts started to pester Vivziepop as well. These accounts weren't fans of the show and were made this month and eventually got suspended.
Truth is, this dude, an asshole. Why is he bothering them? He doesn't have a name. Move on. It wasn't mentioned in the show. What do you need to know?
As well. These accounts weren't fans of the show and were made this month and eventually got suspended from Twitter for harassment. However, these accounts replied under Viv's tweets many times, asking the name of the male hellhound that Luna is attracted to. Viv responded that he doesn't have a name, which annoyed these people even more. Eventually, Viv...
Who cares? Don't answer! Just ignore it! You literally gain nothing from interacting with these people!
And as a joke, said his name was Pinkley Winkleton III. The second example is to do with episode 8. I've discussed this topic to death in several videos, but basically episode 8 of Helluva Boss was postponed for 2 years due to legal issues, with these issues being sorted recently, leading to the episode coming out. This perfectly articulates the issue with running an indie project. You're allowed to take liberties with the show and think outside the box with episodes or plot lines. However, as seen with episode 8, this can lead to issues where you overstep your boundaries. The season finale couldn't be wrapped up for a long time, and to many, the fact that it was released way after reduced the overall impact of the finale. Moving on to Hazbin Hotel, it shows clearly the issues with the...
And that's the problem with getting into legal stuff. Screw legal stuff. Indie is where it's at. Indie is the king. This is such a YouTuber, like, mental breakdown perspective. That, oh, I'm a YouTuber, I'm not being taken seriously enough. I need to sell out and become like a celebrity and play in a movie and be in the WWE and be an official boxer. Be an official this guy, an official that guy, otherwise I'm just a YouTuber. That is such a weak mindset. It makes me so sad when indies that do well, that feel like they could get more acclaim by being bought out, get bought out. It's like whenever like a political network picks up like a political YouTuber, that political YouTuber becomes a shell of their former self. No matter what side they're on, they literally just devolve into a shill of whatever the network wants and lose any form of individuality.
Non-indie projects. Since everything is being overseen by A24 and these companies, it leads to issues regarding creative freedom. From Viv's tweets, it's apparent that she and the team are under NDAs. This has led to a situation where fans are clearly upset and frustrated with the marketing of the shows. However, all Viv and the team can do is sit back and watch as things spiral out of control. She can only give vague, hopeful tweets about it because she can't elaborate further due to these NDAs. It's likely that the Hazbin Hotel advertising and accounts are run by A24 or another company. They've clearly used Vivzi's release schedule for Helluva Boss, where at the end of every month a new sneak peek is shown. This is good because it keeps fans engaged. However, the show is supposedly releasing this summer, and there's been radio silence regarding a release date, a trailer, or what platform the show will be on. The sneak peeks themselves have been a dice roll in terms of quality. Previously, things were quite cryptic, with us just receiving redesigns of the hotel and the cast. past. These increased us receiving various GIFs of the show, showcasing scenes. These GIFs are great, however we're at the final stretch and there still isn't a trailer. The nail in the coffin was the most recent sneak peek for Pride Month. The image showcased Charlie and
That's not a sneak peek! That's just an image of Pride Month.
Digital celebrating Pride. This was awesome, and it's cool to see the account supporting Pride. However, fans were expecting a trailer or something more significant. To many, it appears that the advertising team have dropped the ball in terms of marketing, and it's led to rising concerns regarding the show. With the differences between the two shows explained, it's time to get into my thoughts. The first thing I'd like to mention is that Hazbin Hotel has always had a dedicated audience. When Helluva Boss came out, there were many people who loved both shows and watched Helluva to keep themselves engaged in the lore while they waited for Hazbin to eventually come out. There's also a significant amount of people who have never watched Hazbin but were introduced to the shows from Helluva Boss. As a result, these people may care about Helluva Boss but not Hazbin. On the flip side, there's fans who care about Hazbin but not Helluva Boss. I myself know many people who fall on—
Is there anyone that cares about Hazbin Hotel that doesn't care about Helluva Boss, or anyone that cares about Helluva Boss that doesn't care about Hazbin? I mean, he's saying it like they're two completely distinct fan bases. I feel like they have more overlap than anything else I've ever seen.
Under this camp. Vivzie's tweet illuminated that announcements are right around the corner, and with the next Helluva Boss episode releasing this Saturday, Helluva Boss can help fill in the gap. However, to some people, Helluva Boss isn't really a substitute. There's been many people who've become fed up with the lack of Hazbin Hotel content. They don't really care about Helluva Boss, and as a result, they'll just drop both series and leave. The half-baked marketing makes the issue worse, with many fans not having a clue about the current status of the show, with many knowing that the show will release this summer, but that's it. All of these issues—
I do agree with that, though. I feel like the advertising for Hazbin Hotel has really been non-existent. It hasn't just been like bad or mediocre. It has not been there. There has been no advertising. I literally know nothing.
Stack onto each other to make matters worse. At least for me, I think the fact that a streaming platform hasn't been announced is a bit worrying. The Bento Box website still just says coming soon. The show is scheduled to release this summer, so likely July or August. We haven't received the trailer yet, so the chance of it releasing in July is incredibly unlikely. This leaves us with August. The show could come out in August, with a trailer in July. This leaves just 1 month of solid advertising. This isn't enough time. You want fans to have plenty of time to know where to watch the show, what platforms it'll be on, and the exact date. You want to include that with your advertising.
Yeah, I feel like the advertising... Dude, there's been no advertising
as well. It's important for the show to be advertised front and center on these streaming platforms for people to get engaged, because the way it works now, unless you're glued to your computer screen looking at the subreddits or have notifications on for everything, you're more or less left out in the dark without a clue what's going on.
I would just mention this. I'm a fan of Helluva Boss, and despite being a fan of Helluva Boss, I have no clue what's going on with Hazbin Hotel. It is a little wild to me that someone that actually does support the show doesn't know at all what's going on. Weird.
The show is trying to appeal to longtime fans of the series and new fans as well. Attracting these new viewers is integral to the success of the project. Advertising should have begun a while ago to attract these casual viewers. However, we're pushing into July and we don't know what platforms the show will be on. Similarly, the Hazbin Hotel website still
getting corporatized. No, don't fall into the ass crack of pig's fart.
Shows absolutely nothing, meaning that the entire marketing surrounding the show appears a bit half-baked. You could put forward the argument that the streaming platform hasn't been announced because the show is having issues securing a platform. We know the show is completed with all of the scenes animated and finished. What's left is the advertising and streaming platform. Since both of these things have fallen flat, you could theorize that Hazbin has had issues securing a platform, which is why things are so dire at the moment. It's not entirely off the cards that the show's release could be pushed back to winter 2023, or the show could come out in August and will receive a trailer a week before it actually comes out. The late release of a trailer or a potential pushback would be devastating for eager fans, but this isn't entirely out of the question. So overall, I'm pretty concerned.
It would not be that far-fetched. It's been pushed back years already. Being pushed back a little more, I don't think would surprise anyone, sad as it is to say.
About the marketing regarding Hazbin Hotel, myself and many fans are clearly a bit worried, and as time passes, things just get worse. I'm putting my faith in Viv and the team to deliver a great product. However, I feel like the mismatched marketing has damaged the show's chances of being successful. If you have any thoughts on what I said, or some theories of your own, let me know in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.
My thoughts and theories are, they got licensed by a big studio. Big studio is making all the decisions, and the big studio does not really care about Hazbin Hotel at all and just thinks it'll bring eyeballs to all of their other content. Big studio is making the decisions to not really do anything because they don't actually care about Hazbin Hotel from a marketing standpoint or from a success standpoint. They don't really care about the fans. They're just trying to take a large fan base and move that fan base over to their platforms. To really put it all into like one phrase and make it simple for everyone to understand, my thoughts and feelings on all of this are... That's kind of my thoughts and feelings on a lot of the advertisements going on here. Apparently, in Helluva Boss, fun stuff's been happening. And by fun stuff, I mean people are flipping out again because there's always more of it. So, first of all, Vivziepop announced a delay to Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss's marketing, which is very concerning because, quite frankly, they have not been marketing Hazbin Hotel, and I really want it to succeed. I am invested in this series doing well. I really wanted to shake the zeitgeist of the popular animation scene. Also, there was a whole Luna controversy. I don't exactly know what that's been going on about. And apparently Spindlehorse, that's been working with Helluva Boss and stuff, they actually someone spoke out about something bad. I don't know exactly what's going on, so we will be doing our deep dive together. As someone that has mastered the art of drama online, let's see what this is all about, baby.
So today, Vivziepop announced some unfortunate delays regarding Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss's marketing and promotion. Before I start, Alamel is currently on holiday, so I'm filling in for him with this video. I have some videos on the show on my channel, so if you'd like to check it out, I'll have it linked below. The first tweet regarding all this reads, "Power to all my cast friends who begin striking today. In case some of you don't know, this strike will affect show
that's why there's the delay, because of the strike.
Marketing and promo, so things might take longer, and I want my team to actually be able to enjoy release with the rest of us. Content can wait, support them." Vivziepop also responded to a fan asking if the strike will affect both shows, and she replies, "I can only speak for Helluva, but I think it's safe to say it affects both, yeah."
Listen, when it comes to striking and protesting, I respect people's need to do what they can. Ultimately, this is just entertainment. This isn't affecting anyone on a level past entertainment, so I could give a pass to this, right? I could give a pass.
So from those tweets, we now know that both shows will have delayed marketing. For Hazbin, this probably means a trailer and further sneak peeks. For Helluva Boss, it just refers to the monthly sneak peek gifts. Overall, this is quite sad news, but it makes sense due to the recent strikes. If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below.
Nice and basic. Alright, nothing too creepy here. I don't know what this Luna controversy
Yesterday,
was.
Vivziepop did a long Twitter thread responding to the recent Erika Lindbeck rumors and also clarifying Luna's role in the series.
Oh, I don't know any of this stuff. Oh god. Oh god! Whenever I hear the phrase Vivziepop addresses anything on Twitter, I'm immediately turned off. I feel like she addresses too many things. This has been my take. See, there are some people that when they talk about Helluva Boss drama or whatever, Vivziepop drama, they are incredibly extreme to one side. Either Helluva Boss is garbage and they said the R word and they should get canceled, or the other side, it's like Vivziepop could do no wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, the nuanced take is Helluva Boss is a good show that I like a lot, and I think Vivziepop talks way too much on Twitter. She needs to realize that she has haters and she's not going to change anyone's mind, and let them bitch and moan as much as they want on their own. Let them sound like a hentai soundboard, and she doesn't need to have anything to do with it.
In this video, I'll showcase everything and then give my thoughts after. As I said in the last video, Alamel is currently on holiday, so I'm just filling in for him with this video. I also have some videos on my own channel. If you'd like to check it out, I'll have it linked below. So for context, this whole debate started once a Twitter user posted a theory off 4chan. The theory basically said that the reason Luna
4chan theories go wild
hasn't spoken in the recent episodes was because Viv and Erika had a falling out, with Luna's voice changing.
Oh, that's why no Luna voice was such a big drama. A lot of people were upset that Luna didn't talk in the last 2 episodes. Last episode, she literally wasn't even in the episode, and the episode before that, she was just like kind of screaming.
Vivzi saw this thread and replied basically calling it nonsense. Another user replied,
"Of course, Vivzi saw the thread of unfounded rumors and said, these rumors are unfounded. I see so many unfounded rumors about me and I just let them fester. Like, who cares?"
Asking about the production on Viv's shows, and Viv replied saying that it's out of her hands at the moment. However, Hazbin will be worth the wait, and she'll post lots of information and clarification when she can.
Bruh.
She says, "I'm excited to eventually talk about it once everything is out, being able to give clarity on what's going on."
I am praying that Hazbin Hotel does not get mega corporatized and kind of a backseat to bring people to watch the other platform.
The show is in others' hands at the moment, so like everyone, I just have to see how it plays out. But I know the powers that be love the show.
It is such a bad sign when the creator of the show says the show is in others' hands at the moment. Like, that is so scary. I pray it's not being sold out here.
And I know it's worth the wait. Following on from this, Viv decided to do a Twitter thread responding to the theory. The thread starts with, Erica isn't on socials anymore, but I'm sick of people's conspiracies about her in the show. She's going through enough. Stop speculating about her personal life. It was simply that 2 to 3 years ago when we recorded season 2, we didn't have as much budget as we do now.
Huh? They recorded season 2 2 to 3 years ago? What does that mean we didn't have as much budget as we do now? What does that mean? Did she expect to be paid more retroactively? Like, now that Helluva Boss is huge, did she want to get paid more? They said, well, no, we made a deal on the past price. Is that what she's implying here? I don't even know what that has to do with anything.
If a character didn't play a significant role in an episode, which Luna doesn't always in the early episodes, it was easier on the budget to not have her speak. It's as simple as that. In hindsight, 2 years later as these episodes release, I do very much regret not having her speak more. Especially—
I mean, listen, I do kind of understand that, right? Like, why would they pay her for episodes where she only has a minor role? I mean, I kind of get that, but also it clearly devalues the show. It's always sad to me when it's clearly just money reasons makes the show worse. Like, if they would have just had a bit more money, and there's no way it's that expensive to hire a voice actor. I've hired voice actors, and I've been offered to be hired as a voice actor, and there's no way it's that expensive. It's just Helluva Boss is actually huge and profitable right now, whereas at the time it wasn't. So I guess I get it.
Especially in Western Energy. I 1000% regret it in hindsight, but we thought it might be a fun way to show a more puppy side and save a little budget.
No shot! That's really true. They thought it might be a fun way to show a puppy side and save a little budget. No. It was about the budget. Let's not make believe there was a silver lining to this.
Erica out.
And also, now that you have the budget, why don't you re-record some lines? Who cares if it was recorded 2-3 years ago? Why can't you change anything? You have a bigger budget now.
That was not how we were thinking. Actors record all at once. It felt like we had her in lots. Luna is in more episodes and does more this season. We're not even halfway. Rumors over my cast really get old. While I'm on the subject—
that I totally agree about, though. I feel like it's kind of a bitch move with all the speculating, but of course people are gonna keep speculating because you keep responding to the speculations. This is the problem with responding to everything immediately. If you respond to everything, people will speculate on everything.
No guest actor got paid more than the main cast. They all agreed to be in the show fairly, so can y'all chill, please leave the cast alone. I kinda wanna delete this thread so someone cap it. I'm pretty sick of having to info dump just to stop people pestering the crew, and cast about shit that isn't any of their business. So overall—
yeah, and they're gonna keep doing that for as long as you keep responding.
in the thread, Viv shut down the rumors surrounding Luna's voice, and she clarified that the reason she didn't speak much was because it was a deliberate choice to make Luna more puppy-like and save money, which is something she now regrets. She also said that no guest—
yeah, I don't like the puppy-like take. I feel like that's like what they're trying to make believe is a silver lining because they didn't want to pay the voice actress, which is fine, but own it.
Actor got paid more than the main cast. This is something people have been mentioning for a while, with people saying that Viv sold the show out for mainstream voice talent. That's the entire thread. If you have any—
well, I know that whole drama. That's a whole different situation.
Thoughts, leave them in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.
There is one final piece of drama that we need to get caught up on. The Spindlehorse employees speak out.
Were levied against Spindlehorse, the studio behind Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. In this video, I'll give context to the situation, go through each allegation, and then give my thoughts after. Once again, for those unaware, Enma is still on vacation, so I'll be filling in for him. And lastly, before I start, I'd like to remind everyone that Spindlehorse, Bentobox, and Vivziepop are innocent before proven guilty. These are just—
oh God, that's not a good way to start! Oh no! Oh God, I really hope nothing actual bad is going on with these people. Oh no.
allegations, so make your own mind up after watching.
These are actual allegations?
On July 15th, an animation review document was posted on Twitter. This tweet ended up getting over 7,000 likes and 500,000 views at the time of recording. In this document, users can anonymously review animation studios they worked for in the past. They select options based on a drop-down menu and can leave a comment with additional info and clarification. This document has over 290 responses. The studios we're most interested in are Bentobox and Spindlehorse, with Bentobox being largely behind the work on Hazbin, while Spindle is Vivziepop's studio which worked on Hazbin and Helluva Boss. In this video I've picked 3 reviews, 1 for Bentobox and 2 for Spindlehorse. I'll read them out and then give my thoughts after. I'd also like to—
wait, so these are just anonymous reviews? I'm much calmer right now. Okay, listen. I too believe in innocent until proven guilty. And especially if it's coming from an anonymous source. I get that people don't want to actually, you know, put their name on the line when they allege some crime by someone else. because they'll get a lot of attention towards them. However, if you don't put your name on, then how dare you smear someone else's name with no repercussions? This is my ultimate take when it comes to like drama and bad takes and hatred online and all that stuff. The ultimate nuclear take: if you will have no repercussions by being proved wrong, I will not believe you until there's evidence. So that's the nuclear take that I really wish more people followed and abided by.
Mention that you don't need proof or sources to apply to review in this document, so there is a chance that any amount of these reviews could be made up or fabricated. The bento box review is the first. We don't know what position they had. They said that there was bad treatment, inflexible hours, no work for hire, disorganization, and—
Dude, I could fill this out. They don't even prove who they are, and they have no actual evidence. I could fill this out and say that this stuff happened. Literally.
bad supervisor.
I think that if it's a completely anonymous complaint with no evidence, that shouldn't even be considered more than an allegation.
They worked from 2020 to 2023, they said, a chaotic mixed bag of experiences over many different projects and years. Some being so nightmarishly bad, I don't understand how the company could still function, to being okay. Don't work here unless you get a senior position. If you're a junior in any aspect, prepare to have most things trickle down into your lap, to have your position constantly kicked around as being expendable.
That's
don't count
rough.
on promoting from within either. Not only does management not believe a junior could do a senior job, they don't even know what you do. I've personally seen people give 150% to this company only for management to squander that talent by giving them punishing workload/hours at minimum pay or replacing them with a cheaper
That's
option.
rough.
Management seems deeply embedded and have incredibly secure positions, while everyone else feels like they ride a razor's edge of being
Unfortunately, I feel like that's so many people.
let go tomorrow. The first Spindlehorse review is a background artist. They wouldn't recommend the studio and said there was low pay, too much work, bad treatment, bad supervisors, and
Bruh.
disorganization, unclear due dates, long downtimes with no clear indication when work is
That sounds like YouTubers, am I right?
coming, and no consistency in production. They were a work for hire and were paid between $60 and $300 per background. They worked at Spindle from 2020 to 2021.
Alright, that's fine, I guess.
Deeply unprofessional environment, the comment said, tends to hire unexperienced artists new to the industry and takes advantage of their lack of experience. I was permissive of it at the time because I was excited for my first industry job. Cliquish, abusive leads, gossip and rumors run rampant and are encouraged. Some staff were encouraged to spy.
I mean, that's, again, every online-based, like, personality, and they all do that stuff. That's everywhere. Like the rumors and stuff, that's wild.
On other indie projects and social groups and even individual staff members. Using loaded language, it had a cult of personality vibe based around the leads. Favoritism was used to turn people against each other, and even minor criticisms about the leadership was punished. The leads would reach out to other projects and tell leads on those not to hire you, or if you already work there, to fire you. Incredibly poor production management, dates, and goals shifted constantly or weren't even provided sometimes. Asked multiple times over production for art style guides, videos, or advice, and was only told, people should know just how to do it. HR person is just a friend of the leads. Upon leaving, spreads horrible rumors about ex-staff members, punishes or berates staff members for working on other projects. The second
Yeah, so first of all, just in regards to whether I believe that or not, I believe that there was probably most of this that did go on, but none of this is surprising. Like, if you'd asked me if I guessed this was the case, I would have told you yes, just because every company that's starting up, that's online based, is gonna have gossip, is gonna be unprofessional by the fact that it is indie, pretty much, unless they really have their feet on the ground. And this is Spindlehorse. This is Helluva Boss, like Hazbin Hotel backgrounds. There was literally one episode of Hazbin Hotel as far as I know. So I really truly believe this is just taken out of context and just a regular work day. What employee hasn't felt this way that worked in a company?
rumors about ex-staff members, punishes or berates staff members for working on other projects. The second Spindlehorse review is from an animator. Once again, they cited the low
It should not be a standard. I agree, but it is. And making it like an allegation is frankly not accurate.
pay, too much work, bad supervisors, creatively unfulfilling projects, and disorganization.
Okay, creatively unfulfilling projects. You're joining this as an animator or whatever. You could create your own projects if you want. If you're joining someone else's team where you're going to be animating someone else's project, well then, of course it's gonna be creatively whatever.
They were paid $60 per second of animation and worked at Spindlehorse in 2023. Their comment says, "I know it is so tempting for people who cannot find work to jump at their first opportunity, but do not do it with this studio. There is a reason they are constantly looking for animators. Unbelievably high expectations for roughs, of extremely complex character designs animated on 2s, really poor management and organization. Notes sometimes took forever to get to you. Pay is absurdly low. Pay per second model is inherently abusive, but I say it can be worth it for a struggling artist. If the project is fulfilling in other aspects, it will not be. Please stay away, I cannot stress this enough. I'm sure it's fulfilling for the people who apparently get paid $1,000 weekly, but for us by commission art."
Hold the phone. This person was paid $9.50 a week. Their complaint is that for the people being paid $1,000 weekly, then that I am a lucky person to be able to make a living off of YouTube. But that doesn't sound like such a huge difference to me.
Artists, it is not worth it at all. To spend the time trying to learn these insanely complex characters for the pay we are receiving, and the hope that maybe in future, we will be paid what we are worth.
Okay, people out there, animators, don't go into a job working for someone else with the mindset that maybe if I do well, I will eventually be paid what I'm worth. You won't be, because they feel like they can get away with paying you less. So they won't up your price. They're not like me, who just gives raises to my editors. Right, Stevie? Right, Stevie? Right, Stevie? They have nothing to gain by giving you a raise. In fact, they could probably hire someone else that also is hoping that eventually they could get a raise. To contractors out there, know what you're worth and charge what you're worth.
So that's a couple of the reviews archived. As for my opinion, I think things would be looking bad for Spindle if these reviews were legitimate. There are however some concerns with the document. The first thing, like I mentioned earlier, is that anyone can create a review.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I could literally go in and do that and make believe I worked for them and write this whole heinous review.
Doc. It would take 5 minutes to create a convincing review about how Spindlehorse or Bento Box are bad. It'll then be automatically added to the document. I'm not saying
it's the most Twitter thing I've ever heard. It's like, of course on Twitter, it's a fake allegations generator. They literally made a fake allegations generator on Twitter and were like, have at it, people.
every review is fake, but there's definitely a couple that lack info, so they're most likely made up. It's also easy for someone to just see what other people have said, and then parrot verbatim what they said. Once people see a couple or say the same thing, then it creates a convincing argument. Since the template for the review uses a drop-down menu of buzzwords, it means that every review more or less says the same thing. This isn't exactly helpful for pinpointing the exact issues with Spindlehorse and Bento. The best reviews are the ones that contain additional comments that help to elaborate what the person was saying and why they disliked the studio. One artist who was included in the review left a concerned comment. Basically what happened was that this document was shared around legitimate artists and animators for them to give their thoughts. However, for some reason the document was then posted publicly to Twitter for everyone else to see. This ruined the document because firstly, like the artist said, they left a review and were told it would be kept private. It was then revealed later, and as a result the artist is scared they might lose their job because their review could be traced back to them. Similarly, since the document was posted publicly.
Damn, that's wild. What if it's a psyop? What if this was released just so that they could see who's been leaving the bad reviews so they could know who to fire? Oh my god, the big brain Twitter cancellation generator!
Publicly with no verification or proofing system, it's easy for random users to grief the document within a couple of clicks. It's likely that the document had some sort of credibility at the beginning, however once it was shared publicly, that all went out the window. Some other users also pointed out that due to the nature of how the reviews work, if you had a negative experience you're more likely to give a review compared to if you had a good experience. There were a couple of good reviews of Spindlehorse, however the sheer amount of negative reviews means the people having a positive thing to say were pushed to the side. I've seen people say that Vivzie or Spindle should respond to this. Personally, I think there's no point.
Thank you. And you know why people are saying that Vivzie or Spindlehorse should respond to this? Because they've been doing such a great job about responding to literally everything. That was sarcasm in case you didn't get it. This is my running take here. They have to stop responding to.
If the reviews look verbatim copy and pasted from one another, it should be common sense that you shouldn't trust what you read unless there's proof. I'm not sure why people were taking.
That's it, baby. Proof. Hard facts. Cold evidence.
Yes, bro, trust me stuff at face value and trying to say Spindlehorse is finished and Hazbin and helluva are doomed. If you have any thoughts on the situation, I'd love for you to leave them in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.
Damn, that was one of the things of all time. That's rough, buddy. I don't know. I don't believe anything on Twitter unless it comes from a place that would be hurt if it was a lie. I frankly don't think anything is worthy of believing unless it's verifiable where it's coming from. Vivziepop's unknown FNAF animation. You see, as someone that knows a lot about the Vivziepop fandom at this point, and who knows a lot about FNAF animation from all the MatPat game theories that I've had to make fun of on stream, this is right up my alley. If there's one toxic community, even more toxic than the helluva boss haters. It's the Five Nights at Freddy's squad. Let's see what we got.
Many fans of Vivziepop are well aware of her most popular projects like Hazbin Hotel, Helluva Boss, and Zoophobia. However, during the early days of her YouTube career, Viv would do commissions and side projects as a way of earning a living and
which makes sense.
getting her name out there. One of these side projects was an animated Five Nights at Freddy's song for Good Mythical Morning. In this video,
For Good Mythical Morning? Damn.
I'll recap that one time when Vivziepop did a FNAF animation. The story starts back in March of 2015. At that time, the
It's Markiplier.
American comedy,
What a handsome man.
talk, and variety YouTube channel created by Rhett and Link called Good Mythical Morning did a series called Song Biscuits. Song Biscuits is a series in which Rhett and Link write and perform a song, typically with a guest, using suggestions from Facebook and Twitter. For their March 21st edition of the series, Rhett and Link created a Five Nights at Freddy's song with Markiplier.
Makes sense, makes sense. That's how Markiplier ended up on the scene. If I could say two things about Five Nights at Freddy's, one would be it is thanks to Five Nights at Freddy's that we have Markiplier today. Two, the animatronic hentai is, again, something that I am really excited to have experienced. As someone that just believes in experiencing all of the pleasures in this world, animatronic hentai is actually kind of great.
Sing was fun as a couple months later, Vivziepop was approached by Rhett and Link to create an animated music video for the song. At the time, Vivzie had just over 100,000 subscribers on her channel after it exploded due to the success of her Die Young music video and Timber film. Rhett and Link, or perhaps one of their employees, saw Viv's channel and thought she would be a good fit to animate.
That is so cool.
Made the song, since at the time FNAF animations were getting crazy amounts of views. On May 31st, Viv said, "Well, the FNAF music video I'm being commissioned to do is a go. I'm excited. I designed the animatronics and did this fancy pan shot, and I'm feeling good about how this video will turn out."
If Chica is this thick, how can you not expect the hentai to be great?
I'll post tons of updates as it goes. This was the first time she discussed the project, and she revealed that she was being commissioned to do it. She attached an image of Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy standing on stage. A week later, on June 5th, Viv uploaded a speed draw video of that image to her YouTube channel. This video is now unlisted, but I'll discuss it again later when we get into the controversies surrounding the project.
Wait, there's controversy here too?
Before I move on, the song Viv uses Vanilla. I can't show the song due to copyright, but it's really good. I'll have it linked below. Griffinilla himself commented on the video, praising Viv's work and thanking her for using his song. On July 1st, she posted another sneak peek. In her tweet, she said, "FNAF music video is in full swing. I feel like this is going to be a very thematic film. I can't wait to finish." Ooh. Attached is another image from the animation. This time we see Bonnie and Chica in a hallway. Viv finally played FNAF for the first time on her mobile on July 14th. It was probably easier to animate a video since she would now have knowledge of how the game plays. On August 5th, Viv announced that the video will be released in 10 days.
That's
15
exciting.
days later, the animation came out. On that same day, Viv posted an animatic for the music video, showing the early rough drafts for the animation. So, with the history discussed, it's time to get into the actual music video itself. The video is an animation featuring audio from the aforementioned song, sung by Rhett, Link, and Markiplier. The video takes place at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. During the day, things are nice and calm, whereas at night, things become sinister. The design of the night guard is a reference to Link. The night guard watches the cameras when the
pink moustache! Is that a Markiplier reference?
phone rings, voiced by Markiplier. When the guard looks back at the cameras, the animatronics are missing. Link argues with the recorded message and closes the door on Bonnie. The video continues like a typical FNAF night, with the animatronics pestering the guard. Power runs out, and the guard runs away. He slips in some spilled water and hides in a janitor's closet. He runs away again, and the animatronics appear in their shadow forms, like in FNAF 2. The guard gets followed by each animatronic before accidentally walking into Foxy's Cove. The guard is jump scared, and the song ends. We see at the end, the video was directed by Vivzie, with help from Cersei Bogart, Michelle Krivenek, and Cooper Goodwin. Overall, the video was really good. I personally love Vivzie's art style, especially her old school 2015 style. It's not often we get to see her animate something in a dark theme, and she did a great job. It's also interesting to see how her style has developed and changed over time into what it is today. The animation appeared to have took her around 3 months to make, and I think she did a good job for the time she was given. The music video was also a huge success, with it having 7 million views.
Damn, it's crazy to think that she did a song, an animation song music video that was posted on one of the biggest channels on all of YouTube at the absolute height of Five Nights at Freddy's animations. and it got 7 million views, which is very respectable. But Addict, right, the Hazbin Hotel music video has over 150 million views. That just goes to show how powerful the story Hazbin Hotel is and what it created and how it impacted people is that people keep coming back to that.
As of 2023. Like with anything related to Vivzie, of course there was drama and controversy. With the history and the actual video itself discussed, it's time to get into the
Oh no, a cupcake! Is that an EDP reference? God, I hope not.
controversy surrounding the project. So the first controversy happened back when the animation first came out. If we check a comment on Viv's speeddraw, it articulates what happened. Basically, some of Viv's fans were angry that she drew art of the series. At the time, FNAF was exploding in popularity and had a huge audience. Like with anything that goes mainstream, it attracts new fans and gains a reputation. At the time, some people thought the games were childish due to the audience they attracted. As
She got hate for making an animation about FNAF that she was paid to make? Are you serious?
a result, many people wrote the games off as cringe and disliked any media relating to it.
I mean, I think it's cringe also, but you can't disrespect the media that someone else put work into because they liked it or they were paid to make it. Like, what?
When Viv made her speeddraw, fans were angry that she liked the series and argued in the comments. Similarly, some criticism was put on Viv for the designs of the characters, with people saying they look too creepy or ugly. I'll discuss the designs a little later. The second controversy was to do with Scott Cawthon and Vivzie. I've discussed this situation in my Why Everyone Hates Vivziepop video if you'd like a more in-depth retelling, but basically what happened was in 2021...
Yeah, so Alamau actually messaged me. He said I should watch his Everyone Hates Vivziepop video. Because he really gets into it a lot. He's very proud of that video.
It was found that Scott Cawthon donated to controversial right-wing politicians. As a result, he was doxxed. Scott had to do a huge Reddit post explaining his thoughts and stepped away from the FNAF series as a result. A week later, one of Vivzie's friends quote retweeted a tweet about it. Vivzie replied and basically criticized Scott for his donations.
Aw, man! She has to stop saying stuff on Twitter. Literally, this is years old. This is years old drama, right? That's been going on. She has been knee-jerk reacting to stuff on Twitter for years.
Basically criticized Scott for his donations. People were angry at Vivzie for this, saying that she was contributing to cancel culture, which was hypocritical since cancel culture has been something that has been tormenting Viv for over a decade. For some reason, morons thought that Viv caused Scott to get doxxed.
I don't think that's why people got upset at Viv. I think it was because Viv's just butt into a situation that really had nothing to do with her.
No idea why people thought this, but for some reason they did, despite Viv's tweets being a week after Scott's post and doxing. After this, Vivzie herself was doxed on.
Again, I don't think she's doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that as a content creator, you have to be careful. If you make political content, then obviously you talk about everything political. That's your content. But if you're not making political content, if you're making animations, why would you put yourself in a position where you can actually risk yourself because other absolute fucks on the internet are going to want to blast you for it?
Ever since, FNAF fans have disliked Vivziepop. When the double doxing happened, FNAF fans went onto the old animation made by Viv and criticized her, calling her a hypocrite for doing FNAF art, and then criticizing Scott 6 years later. This is probably why the video is—
That is so cringe! People's favorite thing online is calling people hypocrites. People love calling other people hypocrites. There is nothing hypocritical about this. You could disagree with the man's politics but like the game he created, or you could have liked the game he created 6 years ago and not like the guy or the game anymore, or you could be paid to make a freaking animation of a game not at all tied to the ideology of the guy that made the game 6 years later. Like, the hypocrite thing is so cringe. Everyone gets called a hypocrite for everything in these days.
is unlisted, since if you sort by new, there's just hordes of people saying Viv is a hypocrite or that the art is bad, many of which are in Spanish. The last and most recent controversy happened
Many of which are in Spanish. Good reporting, Alamau. Good reporting.
on Twitter. On July 3rd, 2023, Twitter user Alex the Mouse did a fun tweet reminding people about Vivziepop's FNAF animated music video. This tweet got over 20k likes and had a positive reception, with many people being introduced to the video for the first time. A day later, the tweet blew up and ended up reaching outside its target audience. As a result, FNAF fans and Vivziepop haters found the tweet. Many of these tweets were heavily critical and got tens of thousands of likes. I'll show you a couple examples.
What? How could you criticize? This is her artistic choice. What? Okay, dude.
The first tweet says, "Her, you better not be Vivziepop FNAF art when I get back. My goofy ass." Personally, I think this tweet is pretty funny, and it got 26k likes.
that's enough.
However, the replies and quote retweets are full of people bashing the designs, and as a result, it started a chain reaction with more people piling on. This tweet points out how skinny Bonnie is. It has 17k likes. This
Dude, it's obviously not accurate. Oh my god.
one points out Freddy's waist and has 8k likes. The last one I'll show says, "Sorry, but I hate this so much. It's so astonishing to me how she's so bad at drawing fat characters that she made Freddy slim thick. Like how
Freddy slim thick. He's slim thick at best.
effing
He's not morbidly obese like he should be.
deep in the shits do you have to be to not draw Freddy Fazbear of all characters fat?" They made a couple follow-up replies, and in this one they said Vivziepop should explode. So basically they're the least toxic Twitter user. This tweet got 17k likes. After the Twitter discourse, some people showed up to Viv's video and the Good Mythical Morning upload to bash the designs. Personally, I think most of these takes are complete nonsense and verging on bad faith. I agree that
I don't think they're verging on bad faith. They obviously dislike her for no reason, or for whatever reason that they have. They clearly have some reason why they don't like her, and now they're just hating blindly. Because this is not valid criticism towards the art. This is criticism that just because they don't like the art.
Bonnie's design is a little too skinny. I think Viv might have took inspiration from Hot Diggity Demon's Fazbear and Friends animation, which was made in April 2015.
I don't know, man. I just think she was trying to make them scarier, or her own style.
It was made a couple months before Viv's animation, and Viv had tweeted
That was her choice. It was her artistic choice.
about how FNAF animations get lots of views, so she was likely watching some for inspiration. In that video, Bonnie is very skinny, while Chica has a more sexualized design, so Viv probably took these as
Did my man Alamau just expose himself like that? While Chica has a sexualized design. Literal bird.
inspiration when designing her own designs. As a result, Bonnie is very skinny and Chica has a curvier design with a tight waist. Other than that, most of the criticisms don't make much sense. A lot of them basically say that Viv can't draw fat people or let the designs suck, but if you watch the episode, Chica and Freddy are actually quite thick and appear normal. If you pause in any frame of them, apart from the one on stage, they look quite similar to how they appear in game. It's a bit weird to take one out of context image and then use it to write off the entire thing.
He says it's a bit weird. Meanwhile, I get cancelled for out of context images and clips on the weekly.
It's clear to me that most of the people dogpiling on the animation didn't actually watch the full thing. They just saw people shitting on the designs and then joined in for Twitter likes.
100%.
Personally, I like the designs, with Chica being my favourite, though I'm not a fan of Bonnie's.
Dude, just say you're a furry. Just say you're a furry.
The people are dogpiling on an 8-year-old animation, so that's the entire history of Vivziepop's FNAF animation. This was a fun video to create, and it was nice to go back to a different era. I think the FNAF animation is similar to Vivzie's Die Young video, where it was made in a different time, so it's almost like a time capsule. It's cool to see how Viv's style has changed and developed over time. I do wish she still had commissions open, because the ones she did a decade ago were awesome, and this animated video is no different. If you have any thoughts on the video, feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.
My hot take on this is these dudes have to stop freaking out about everything that Vivziepop does, and Vivziepop has to stop making her own bed. She has to stop responding to everything knee-jerk reaction on Twitter. Please, please. Anyway, that's this situation. So, this dude, Alamau, posted another video why Vivziepop's zoophobia was abandoned. And as someone who is a massive fan of the Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel franchises, not even for what they are, but for what they represent for the future of animation, I am so excited that dark humor like that has a place on the internet. I'm always incredibly curious as to everything in all the works of Vivziepop. So apparently there was this furry cartoon that she did at some point, and I'm more excited to learn about it, so I figured, hey, I'll learn about it with you guys, because why the hell not? Apparently it gets dark. That's the little deets that I heard on the DL. It gets dark.
If you're a fan of Vivziepop, or perhaps a casual viewer, you'll be aware of her two main projects, being Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. However, Vivziepop actually had a third universe, where many of her ideas for the aforementioned shows came from, and it was also what she originally was best known for. This project was called Zoophobia, and it was an online webcomic which eventually received its own animated short on YouTube.
Wait, Zoophobia only had one animated short? Zoophobia wasn't like a series that they've ever done? I know that my chat's all furries. I'm not, but I know my chat is, so...
It was a massive hit with a significant cult following. However, as of 2023, the project appears to be dead in the water, summer, with radio silence from Vivziepop on the topic.
I guess people just like demon hentai more than furry hentai.
In this video, I'm going to answer why Vivziepop's zoophobia was abandoned. Before we get into the project's abandonment, we need to go over its history to form a timeline of events. Before creating zoophobia, Vivziepop created art and other projects under her DeviantArt account titled Viv's Mind. On her page, she created stories and art featuring a cast of characters.
Dude, it's crazy to see the very, very beginning. The evolution of a person who right now on the animation scene is one of the most impressive and respected individuals, and also hated apparently by a lot of people, but in my opinion that just makes her more credible, okay? That just adds to her credibility.
The main ones being centered around the main five, being Venexa the cat,
oh my god, it's the furry Power Rangers!
Kayla the kangaroo, a chimera called
watching this purely for information purposes,
Alien, Jack the jackal, and Spam the fox. Two additional important characters were Damien the Prince of Hell and Addison the half-human, half-fennec fox. Many of these characters were created by Viv years prior while in high school. We can see these characters on Vivzi's original YouTube channel called X Zoophobia X. This channel operated between 2008 and 2012 and has many random videos uploaded by Viv when she was younger. We can see some memes. People started to take notice of Viv's art because of the unique style and charm, with comparisons being made to Invader Zim. As a result, Vivzi expanded the cast and created the Zoophobia series. It was first—
Dude, speaking of Invader Zim, I got into a whole hell of a boss drama on Twitter. I don't know, I should just shut up. I mean on X.com. I should just shut up over there.
Published on July 3rd, 2012. Shortly after, in September, Vivzi made a new YouTube channel to help separate her past content from her new projects. The storyline of Zoophobia starts off by following a young woman named Cameron Walden, who was in need of a—
Okay, alright. A human, not a furry. This is a dub. This is huge. This is good shit. I'm just saying, not a furry.
job, prompting relocation, which took her to the strange and colourful world of Safe Haven. Safe Haven is inhabited by many creatures, ranging from animals and humans to mythical creatures and demons. The only problem is that Cameron has zoophobia, a crippling and petrifying fear of animals. The comic's main cast—
you see it? You heard of the Zuvo? They said the thing.
Consists of a variety of characters, over 100, each with their own character arc and character development. Like I mentioned previously, as Vivzi expanded the world, zoophobia started to gain a dedicated cult following. Things only escalated after the release of her Die Young music video. This animated video featured a variety of zoophobia characters dancing to Kesha's hit song. The main protagonist of the video was JJ the Werewolf, a character that was slated to appear in Book 2 of Zoophobia. The Die Young video was a hit and introduced an entirely new audience to the series and Vivziepop as a whole. While on the topic of books, Zoophobia was originally designed in a book format. Roughly 10 books were planned, however Book 1 was the only one released, with it featuring 5 chapters. Book 1 was the introduction to the story and—
I truly respect the grind. She really made these whole stories completely as a passion project before ever seeing an ounce of revenue from this whole animation thing that she has going on. Honestly, I have so much respect for someone that creates this because they love it, not someone that just creates it because it's profitable and making them money on YouTube.
Was meant to get the audience connected with the main 5 characters. Book 2 was meant to have a shift to a musical film noir type of story. Cameron would be displaced as the protagonist in favour of the main 5, and this book was when JJ was scheduled to be introduced. We only know bits and pieces of what was supposed to appear in the rest of the books, but one focused on the sci-fi genre, one was darker, and one focused on mythology. The most interesting story was the Angels and Demons arc. This arc obviously focused on demons and angels, and hosted a lot of concepts that would end up being reused for Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. In March 2016, Vivzi announced the Zoophobia audio-visual adaptation by posting a teaser video. This adaptation was basically just a fancy version of what you'd call a comic dub today. However, it would feature advanced editing, audio, and sound effects, which would place it a tier above the previous fan-made dubs of the comic. This audio-visual adaptation was shelved unfortunately when Vivzi announced that Zoophobia was being rebooted on November 14th, 2016.
Reboots! Reboots! They were always here. They've always tortured us from the very beginning.
Vivziepop announced that the comic was on an indefinite hiatus until she could reboot it. According to Viv, she wanted to put the comic on hold because she lost her connection with the series. She affirmed that the project wasn't dead, but just on ice until she could revisit it. A year later, on April 27th, 2017, Vivzi discussed Zoophobia in a video titled Messy Zoophobia Ramble. In this 30-minute video, Viv addresses a lot of questions she's had and elaborates further on why the comic was put on hold. Viv said said that the environment surrounding the comic stopped being fun, and since she was a novice storyteller at the time, there was a bunch of messy mistakes and holes which she couldn't overlook.
That's so sad. Oh man, it's always so hard to hear about a passion project that's just slowly dying. And obviously people were here for the art style, but also for the furry tits.
There wasn't a conventional structure or thought-out story. In order to fix the story, Viv said she wanted to give Vtube a rest, and then come back later to reimagine things when she has a better skill set. She mentioned that she has plenty of other fun projects to keep fans engaged in the meantime though. With the project stuck in limbo, things were pretty dire for the Zoophobic fandom. Throughout this period, Viv would be pestered regularly, with people saying she dropped Zoophobic in favour of Hazbin Hotel. Things changed in December 2019. Shortly before this, Viv's
all that for a drop of clout. I don't know. That's what it comes down to. At some point, reboots are just such a much safer way, I guess, to go than... Everyone's always scared, obviously, to keep pushing a story that they feel like is just dead and could be done better into the ground. I get reboots because I've wanted to redo past videos that I've made. I you know, want to change them up. I'd want to make them better and stuff like that. And I do get that, but gotta keep pushing forward also. There are people that have been with you until that way. In a way, it's almost discarding a fandom that exists for the sake of, you know, more exciting medium of storytelling that you could feel like reaches more people. I don't know. Obviously, I have nothing against people that want to reboot their stories. For me, it's always so sad.
did release the pilots to both Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. On that date, however, Vivzie announced that she was working on a Zoophobic animated short. A couple months later, Vivzie announced that she was pitching Hazbin around different studios. At the same time, she was working on writing the story for an additional 6 Helluva Boss episodes. She mentioned that she was working on a number of other shorts, with one called Holidays, another one based on her Timber film, and the aforementioned Zoophobic short. On September 30th, 2020, the Bad Luck Jack Zoophobic short was released on Vivzie's YouTube channel. In this short, the story follows Jack, who is cursed with supernatural bad luck. Cameron, the main protagonist from the original webcomic, is not seen in this short. It also contained 3 songs, which is a format inherited from Viv's other projects like Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. After release, this short was quite popular, reaching 11 million views on YouTube. Fans were
huge. That's incredible.
We're obviously excited to see what's next in store for the Zoophobic universe. There was a mix of original fans who have been following Vivzie and Zoophobic for years, combined with the new viewers who just...
I do understand the concept of dropping something that either isn't performing as well as you wanted it to, or to follow greener pastures. Right now she's working on Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. How much time does she have to commit to another full-time project? She doesn't. In a way, it feels like she's betraying her audience, because I do see a lot of people hating on her for, oh my god, you just discarded Zoophobic because you got so popular with Helluva Boss and you don't actually love the stories you're making, you're just a grifter? And whenever I see the grifter argument that a lot of people like throwing at Vivziepop, it kind of makes me sad. She can do whatever the hell she wants here.
Tuned in after watching Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. This combined viewership meant that there was a sizable audience waiting. Since you've watched this far and obviously seen the title of the video, Zoophobic was more or less pushed aside. There was radio silence regarding the project up until a Helluva Boss livestream in March of 2023. In this livestream, Vivzie talked a little about the project and how she took concepts and characters from it to use in her other shows. From the way she spoke, it seems as if the project
that's a nice way to say it's dead.
Isn't completely dead, with Viv specifically making mention that Zoophobic as a comic is something that she wants to revisit in the future, but instead with a smaller cast and more of a focus on young adult comedy.
Also, you have to realize she's so much better. Every writer improves over time, and she's definitely improved over time. So I can understand why she doesn't want to just pick up where she left off. She wants to improve on the, you know, the formula and the structure that she had, so I respect that.
Other than the dark and gritty tones of her other projects. Following on from this livestream, there's been no other mention of Zoophobic from Vivzie or her team. So with the entire history of Zoophobic covered, it's time to get into the controversies surrounding the project.
Let's go, controversy! Woo!
If you're a subscriber of my channel or a long-time Vivzie fan, you'll know that it looms over her project like a shadow, and Zoophobic was no different. In the next section, I'll talk...
Anything popular gets hate, and Vivzie is terrible at dealing with it because she responds to all of it. So obviously she's gonna keep getting them because they see they get a rise out of her.
Talk about some of these controversies. So the first controversy relates to...
Oh damn. Snake hentai.
A couple of characters from Zoophobic. One being Addison. Basically, Viv drew Addison naked in a bath of snakes. This entire situation is a bit of a mess, but basically the fan-run wiki had Addison's name listed as 17. However, once Vivzie confirmed he was 18, it was changed. The art itself is pretty bizarre, and Vivzie herself addressed...
So now it's okay that she's having sex with snakes. Good cover. Oh, it's a good thing she's an adult now that she's having sex with snakes. Woo! That's a load off.
This in an apology on Tumblr. She said she drew the cringy art in 2012 when she was 19 and regrets it. However, she affirms that it was legal.
Why does she respond to this stuff? Just leave it. It'll just make people criticize you for other things now.
Then and still is now. Following on from this, during chapter 6, Addison forms a relationship with a teacher's assistant called Gustav, who is 19. So basically, people were annoyed at Vivziepop for depicting a student-teacher romance. The next two characters that were in hot water
between two adults. Dude, have you watched anime? Every anime has the weird student-teacher romance. Yes, is it weird? I'm not gonna lie. It's a little weird. Is it something that you need to respond to? Is it something that you need to address? No, it's your story. You can do whatever you want. Yes, the people in your story are weirdos. Fine. Solution. Problem solved. It's like when everyone was upset that freaking character in Helluva Boss is an asshole. Literally a character in hell. Okay? In her own story. She could make him as much of an asshole as she wants.
Kestrel is a 14-year-old student, while Mirage is a 27-year-old demon. Created from a soul of a 19th century serial killer. In one art piece, Mirage says, "Hey cutie," with her mouth watering. So basically, people said this was another example of an inappropriate relationship.
It's a reincarnated demon lady serial killer! What?
It's important to note that Mirage and Kestrel aren't dating, and Mirage is a villain in the story. The next character
So the villain is a creep? What?
the most controversial was Sahara. Sahara is a teenage girl of African heritage. Her nickname is Sarah, and she appeared in the background in Bad Luck Jack, which was released back in 2020. So some people thought that her name and design was insensitive. The next controversy is the doll creep situation. I've discussed this one to death, but basically Vivzie purchased JJ the werewolf off a friend called Doll Creep. After Vivzie's
Why is that weird?
music video, Doll Creep started a dispute with her because they wanted more credit, despite the fact that they were credited in the video itself with special thanks.
Yeah, that's always so ugly.
The two had a heated argument on Tumblr, with Vivzie doing a
An argument on Tumblr? Oh god, I cannot see this going well at all.
call-out thread on Doll Creep. The next drama was the Zootopia situation.
Maybe I'm just too weathered. I'm just way too weathered on the internet. It's a different word. Yeah, obviously there's similarities, but it's a completely different word. Zoophobia is a real word. It's a fear of it. And what, the setting? The fact that there's a society of talking animals? Is that really such an original premise that's worth, like... I mean, I get being upset because it's just incredibly similar stylistically, but that's rough, buddy. This happens to everyone, I feel like. I feel like every single person goes through this at some point.
When Zootopia was announced, Vivziepop expressed her disdain for it on social media. In Viv's eyes, the similar name hurt the branding for Zoophobia. Rumours started to get spread that Vivzie was going to sue Disney, but Viv
What? Sue Disney for a name that's different, just kind of similar?
said these were false during her Tumblr apology. Eventually, Zootopia came out, and Vivzie saw it and actually enjoyed the movie, drawing some fan art as a result. And lastly, we have Vivzie's Patreon. Basically, as I've discussed, Vivzie's main project was Zoophobia. However, she eventually pivoted towards other projects like Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. Some long-time patrons have expressed their distaste towards Vivzie's Patreon. They paid money to support Zoophobia, however, it was put into an indefinite hiatus.
Well, also they could kind of patron, like I don't know. I feel like that's appropriate. They don't have to remain a patron of hers, right?
While Viv focuses on other projects, these people don't really care.
It's not. She was pretty transparent about it. She said that, listen, guys, we're working on greener pastures. It looks like this is going on hiatus for now. At that point, if anyone's there just to support that, they can be like, well, in that case, toodles. Nothing but respect for everything that you do as a human and as a person. But I'm here for the furry stuff. I don't care about demon butt.
For Viv's other projects, so to them, it feels like the Zoophobia fandom was abandoned. So, with the entire history of Zoophobia discussed, it's time to get into why the project was.
That said, I do understand their pain. It's like, can you imagine being like a One Piece fan, okay? You're watching One Piece, everything's going great, we're in the final arc, and it turns out Oda decided, you know what? I want to do a new story. A story about skydivers. We're going to be putting One Piece on hiatus for now. I mean, obviously that would be hell on earth. But, but like, I can understand where the fan base is coming from, but at that point, there's no reason to hate on Oda for that. It's ultimately his choice who should be grateful what we've gotten.
Abandoned. Although Vivzie hasn't officially said that the project is cancelled, we know from the 2023 livestream that the project is on hold while she works on other projects. Vivzie doesn't talk about xenophobia anymore on sites like Twitter, and this livestream was the last time she discussed it. From this stream and her previous statements, we can piece together what happened. Basically, Vivzie created xenophobia when she was young. It had some great characters and concepts. However, due to her inexperience, there was some flaws with it. As a result, Vivzie got heavy criticism, especially from web forums and Tumblr blogs. Some of these blogs or forums were dedicated to criticizing xenophobia. Eventually, Vivzie realized that she couldn't look at xenophobia the same way because of its issues, and as a result put it on hold so that she could reboot it in the future. Fast forward to 2020 and we get the animated short featuring the characters. This was amazing, however there was radio silence from Viv on xenophobia after the release of that short. The last time she mentioned
I'm not a furry, but she is bad. She got that Espion vibe, and I don't know, man. It's something about the Eevees every time. The whole Eevee line. God damn it. God damn it. Listen, I promise I'm not a furry, but if I was a furry, I would be salivating right now.
xenophobia was during that 2023 livestream. In that stream, Viv mentioned how xenophobia was where a lot of her concepts originated from. She took characters and stories from that show, such as the Hazbin Hotel cast, and turned them into their own individual projects. This was great because it reduced the amount of content in xenophobia, which already had over 100 characters and was too
Oh my god!
ambitious.
This thing had a whole freaking cinematic universe.
However, this created the issue where large parts of the lore are now missing. Vivzie has been too busy with her other projects, and as a result, xenophobia has been sidelined in favour of Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. Unlike Viv's past projects like Allison or Classic, which were cancelled, xenophobia is in sort of a limbo. We could see more xenophobia shorts or comics in the future. However,
I feel like at some point we'll definitely get back to that. There's just so much good merch to be sold. I feel like there's no way she's just gonna completely ignore its existence.
that'll most likely be a while into the future when Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss are further in development. Myself and many fans are holding out hope for the series. However, only time will tell if xenophobia will get the spotlight it deserves. So yeah, that was the history of xenophobia.
Okay, but here's the thing. What would you prefer, Zoophobia fans? What's better for you? Her not being able to give it the respect it deserves, so therefore putting it on hiatus until maybe she has time one day? Or just completely selling out and outsourcing it to some other studio to freaking make it all by themselves and do their thing? And what the frick is going on with this thigh situation? I don't understand it at all. Is that the butt? Is that the front? Like, then how is... I don't understand, and I'm not looking at furry crotches because I like them. I'm just because they're there. I am a philosopher. I look at everything that is to be seen.
I was requested to do this video a lot, so it's nice to finally get around to making a dedicated video on the series. I do hope we get some news regarding it in the future, but at least we have Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss to keep the fans engaged. The last thing we want is for Viv or her team to get overworked. If you have any thoughts...
Well, that's not the last thing we want, but it would be pretty bad. Oh god, I'm so bad.
on the video or on xenophobia as a whole, I'd love for you to leave them in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Alamau. Thanks for making this video. This was good and insightful and stuff, and I learned a lot about furry hentai and the people that enjoy it. Next on the agenda, there has been Vivziepop drama, and as you know, Alamau does a good job covering it, and I have a lot of opinions regarding it, because I think Vivziepop and I are relatively in a similar spot. Obviously, I think she's a lot more famous than I am, therefore she's a bigger target than I am. However, we are in a very, very similar spot in the sense that I think we both get overhated for things that aren't really bad, more as they are just kind of cringe. Now, the big difference between me and Vivziepop is I think I handle my drama relatively well, and I think Vivziepop handles her drama relatively poorly. She always ends up responding to stuff. Someone will call her out and she'll respond with like some sort of snarky response that more people will cause her to do it. But anyway, there has been a lot of Vivziepop hate, especially because Hazbin Hotel's getting a series on Prime next month, so a lot of people hate that she's getting popular through that, and you'd notice a lot of Vivziepop drama stems from some sort of jealousy of success, and that's crazy. I do think a lot of influencer drama stems purely from jealousy. Realistically, I made my incredibly dumb and stupid video about Twitch is hentai, which ended up actually being true and right and based years down the line. I'm just saying, I'm a prophet. And I still get hate to this day for that video.
If you've been around the Helluva Boss or Hazbin Hotel community, you've likely heard of one of Vivziepop's many dramas. As far back as I can remember, these situations have been intrinsically attached to her brand, and in recent weeks, things have spiraled a little.
Well, I mean, I think anyone that makes videos for a niche is gonna get hate once the videos hits the outside part. Like it's Joe Cat all over again. Joe Cat did his I Like Girls video, which was just a totally fine nothing burger of a video, and he gets so much hate for it just because it grew out of his niche to the point that he wants to quit content creation literally because of that amount of hate he got. So Helluva Boss, which ultimately is a niche video, right? It is a series for a niche. It's a cartoon. Obviously, that's going to grow out into the greater Twitter sphere, and people are going to want to annihilate her for it. And it's so sad.
It's at the point where, although there definitely are valid things to criticize Vivzie for, the level of hatred and bandwagoning has started to get out of hand. In this video, I'm going to split it up into 3 sections. First, I'll talk about the recent dramas that have occurred in the past month or so, and some of the issues with them. After, I'll talk about my thoughts, along with the genuine criticisms that you can level against Vivzie.
Okay.
And then finally, I'll provide some...
I don't think I've ever heard A. Lamau criticize Vivzie in one of his videos, but I am here for it. I am interested.
concluding thoughts. A couple of weeks ago, Twitter user Mega...
Oh! I saw this. If the Amazing Digital Circus was written by the writers of Helluva Boss, well, I don't know if I saw this one specifically, but I did see this trend where people were making, if this was Helluva Boss, and it was just like a character from something just saying the fuck word a lot.
Chan posted a meme video with the caption, "The Amazing Digital Circus if it was written by the people who made Helluva Boss." The video was a fun gag to poke fun at the amount of swearing in Helluva Boss, which has been a contentious point since the show first aired its pilot. Me and a couple friends saw it shortly after it was posted and found it pretty funny because it was just a light-hearted meme poking fun. Some Twitter users, especially fans of the show, thought it was offensive because of the caption. Many also pointed out that several of the crew members that worked on the Digital Circus were friends with Viv or worked on Hazbin and Helluva.
It's such a dumb thing. Like, I think that it's a fully relative concept. I am very much of the belief that no one is entitled to anything that comes their way. Aside from, like, basic human rights. Aside from basic human rights, no one's entitled to shit, okay? So, if you don't like Helluva Boss, don't watch Helluva Boss. If you don't like me, don't watch me. I am very much into that whole concept. Now, a lot of people on Twitter don't think that's fair or valid, and they feel like they have to hate on things that they think that they don't like or that they think is cringe, with the caveat that they have to be successful. And it's interesting. It's like someone becomes successful doing something that you don't respect, and suddenly you have to go completely crazy. And I don't even know if you don't respect it.
As a result,
but Twitter's like a pure hate. Bro, I had to delete the video. I had no intention of hurting anyone. It's just a funny meme. See, when I saw something like that, Amazing Digital Circus, it was made of Helluva Boss, and then they show Kane from the Amazing Digital Circus just saying, "What the fuckery is fucking going on right now, you dick fucks?" Right? When I saw something like that, and that's cute, that's funny, because there's a lot of cursing in Helluva Boss. And if you don't like that, don't watch it.
So Mega-chan took down the video saying, "I had to delete the video. I had no intention of hurting anyone." They also stated that they were blocked by Vivzie over the incident.
Oh man, that's so sad. Because he meant it as a lighthearted thing, but and see, this is why Vivzie literally digs her own grave. This is why Vivzie is digging her own grave. Bro, do you have any idea how many Nux hate accounts there are? There is an entire Nux hate community on Twitter right now. There is literally an entire Nux hate community on Twitter. A hate-dom, if you will. Someone made a video talking about the hate-dom of Nux Taku, okay? Bro, it's insane, and you just ignore it, and you live life like everything else. If you just touch grass every once in a while and let them cry, then whatever, they'll cry into their void.
With the caption, "Fine, I'll repost it, back by popular demand," with the post blowing up again like in the original post. A few hours after the repost, Vivzie made a post talking about the whole ordeal, saying, "People be making the same LOL, Helluva Boss, just swearing, sex, laugh, jokes over and over, but like I've been influenced by Seth Rogen comedies and South Park, so yes, that shit makes me chuckle. I weep for you if you don't think a well-delivered fuck word is funny."
Bro, I've seen people give Nux death threats on Twitter. True, and you know what I do when that happens? I ignore it. But this tweet This tweet is so cringe. You do not have to justify the sense of humor in your content to any of these people because these people just feel satisfied that you are being annoyed by it. Vivziepop, for the love of fucking God. You're digging your own grave here, lady. You make good stuff, and not everyone will like it, and humor is subjective, and you don't need to explain why you think it's okay.
She made a few other comments and replied to a user who said, "To be fair, you kinda overdo it, like it should be led up to organically."
And that is a completely subjective take that Vivziepop should just ignore.
In response, Viv said, "That's full-on subjective. I feel the swearing is organic. A lot of the swearing in the show isn't meant for comedy, it's just how the characters talk. It's how I talk, and how most of the things I grew up with had characters talk. If you don't like it, cool, it's not my problem." This post was not taken well, and it got over 4 million
Obviously, it wasn't taken well.
views because of the quote retweets.
I find it so funny that this is the video that inspired Vivziepop to tweet this. The fact that she can't take a joke while being inspired by Seth Rogen and South Park of all things is actually hilarious. I hate to say this. I hate it because Vivziepop gets way too much hate. This guy's right. Now, even if it bothered her but she didn't reply, people would at least think she took the joke. But she could not take this joke publicly. They saw her downfall in real time. So of course they ratioed her with the same freaking video again. And obviously, now that you see that she is actually big baby rage mad over all of this, everyone is jumping on it. This if it was made by helluva boss, and it was just random characters swearing. This if it was made by helluva boss, and then just people's.
Were several quote retweets, tens of thousands of likes, ranging from saying Vivzie can't take criticism to making fun of the amount of profanity and sex jokes in Viv's shows. As for my thoughts on the situation, I think it's a bit tricky. I personally...
It's so not tricky. Vivziepop could do whatever the hell she wants with her content because it's her content. The end, period. People are gonna hate because people are gonna hate anyway because they are jealous and because it is niche and because they find it cringe and because they know they'll get likes if they hate because there's an entire freaking subculture of haters on Twitter. So it is such a not complicated decision in my humble opinion. From her perspective, do whatever the fuck you want. From their perspective, haters gonna hate. You just gotta ignore that, brother.
Found the video funny. However, there were some people who were upset, which is valid. Some people aren't aware, but the helluva boss humor joke has been a long-running gag against the shows or Vivzie for a while. I've covered it in my video on the hatedom, but anytime a new episode comes out, people repeat the same sort of talking points about how the show's humor sucks or how Vivzie can't write. What happened is Vivzie has seen this sort of argument countless times, so when she saw that Kane video, she blocked the user and did her subtweet. It wasn't solely because of the video, but probably a combination of things.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess. Dog. And I'll be honest, even me, every once in a while, and I've trained myself. I am primed, okay? And I'll see tweets every once in a while, and I want to respond. There was one tweet. There's a screenshot of my Scott Pilgrim video on Twitter. Just the video itself, the thumbnail and the title, saying, Betty says that... Betty says he mentions porn in the first 10 minutes of his video. And that tweet got 70,000 likes. Which, I mean, okay, whatever. But the funny thing was, like, I didn't mention porn in the first 10 minutes of that video. So I really wanted to just respond saying, but I didn't. But obviously, I didn't do that because what the hell's the point? I'm just mentioning this, like, as an example of what not to do and what to do. Realistically, it didn't really bother me that much. It was just like an actually that I wanted to respond with, but then I felt like, why give them the satisfaction of replying? But anyway, it's so sad.
On one hand, I can understand why she blocked the user. Seeing this sort of rhetoric on your feed constantly.
Wrong! You never block! I'm sorry, Lamau. I don't mean to do this, bro. I like you, Lamau. You never block! You always mute. Blocking is engagement. It is showing them that they won. It is showing them that you are insecure about them. You mute. They don't know that you mute. You don't see them. Win, the end. I never mute people either, just because I like seeing the hate tweets of me because it makes me chuckle every once in a while, so I don't actually... I don't mute.
Seeing this sort of rhetoric on your feed constantly for long periods of time can be draining. On the other hand, blocking and then subtweeting isn't the right way to handle things. I'll discuss this point in detail when I get into the proper criticisms against Vivzie later, but it's not that Vivzie is unable to take criticism on board. It's just that the way she responds can be a bit inflammatory, which ends up making the situations worse. Overall, I think neither party is in the wrong. The original video's caption probably could have been better.
The wrong is the masses of Twitter trolls, like the people that are just hating for no reason, putting hate into the world for no reason. But again, the person that made the tweet, I don't think they did wrong. Vivziepop, I think her response was cringe, and Definitely not the right play, even though it's not wrong per se.
Better, and it was good it was reposted. Meanwhile, I think Vivzie shouldn't have tweeted at all. It just made the whole thing worse and led to her getting bashed for days on end. So following on from this situation, it caused the creation of a trend. Over on Know Your Meme, a page was created called If It Was Written Like Helluva Boss.
Dude, Know Your Meme just goes with every... Dude, you don't understand. Dog, that's not like such a big deal. Bro, you don't understand. Because people on Twitter freaking love me. Love me. Dude, there's an entire Know Your Meme page about me being a gooner. Being a gooner, because when I watched the Amazing Digital Circus video, I made a comment saying like, oh, there's gonna be a lot of Rule 34 in this. So bro, dude, this is now all of a sudden here, even though I was totally right. But like, again, Know Your Meme is just, that's everywhere. That's anything.
Basically, people started to use that same meme template to poke fun at the show. I'll show a couple examples. Here's one called Genshin Impact if Vivziepop wrote it with 4,000 likes. Adventure Time if it was written by Vivziepop with 47,000 likes.
God damn, that's crazy hatred. Because at this point, it's just hate.
Family Guy if it was written by Vivziepop with 28k likes. And lastly, Chainsaw Man if it was written by...
You do that horse shit somewhere else. That's hilarious, bro. That's funny.
By Vivziepop with 31k likes. Personally, for me,
I know it was made from a place of hate, but come on, that's really funny.
Really find these funny. The best way to explain it would be this meme from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It was funny the first time with the Digital Circus video. However, since it got mainstream, the joke has been ran into the ground by people hopping on to farm Twitter likes.
To farm likes and hate, like, honestly.
It's wore out its welcome in my opinion, and I've seen a bunch of people say the same thing, so I reckon others are fed up with it as well. Vivziepop was trending on Twitter as a result of the memes. Around this time, the newest Helluva Boss song called Just Look My Way released. In the description it says, warning for no swearing, gasp. I think the reference is firstly that this is one of the only Helluva Boss songs to feature no swearing, and also a reference to the recent controversy. Once Twitter saw this, they got upset, with one tweet saying, oh, she's losing it, with 44,000 likes. I think this was just misinterpreted. There's no way to know if the description is a reference to the recent controversy, but if it is...
I mean, it probably is, to be honest, but even if it is, that's like such a nothing burger for Twitter to just get upset about. Dude, if you're gonna hate on me for something that I don't think deserves the hate, honestly, go for it. Hate on me for it. Please do.
I thought it was funny. They're basically rolling with the punches and going along with the joke. You can disagree and say it's petty, which is completely valid, but I mean, it
was petty, but it's also kind of funny, I guess. I sort of
think Vivzie is necessarily...
See, I think that's fine. That is like, whatever, totally fine. It's just the actual tweeting and engagement.
...it for including a joke in the description of the video. Moving into December 4th, the Vivziepop hate train was in full blast. A thread was posted called, a thread of all the gross and dumb shit Vivziepop has sold on her Shark Robot page, on a scale from stupid to actually very gross. This thread is complete garbage and extremely petty, so I'll go through it tweet by tweet. So the image attached is Vizzie's Thirsty Boy mug.
Which again, dude, you find worse mugs on eBay, okay? To hate on her for selling a mug like this is insane.
Literally no idea how this is bad, it's just a mug. The first reply says, the ugly ass plushies that look like they're made out of tissue paper. You can say whatever you want about the plushies, the older ones definitely look cursed, but I don't see how this is a proper criticism.
Yeah, like no, it's not. You don't understand. You don't understand something about Twitter, something fundamental about Twitter. You don't need proper criticism. Again, you make fun of my Scott Pilgrim versus the World video for saying porn in the first 10 minutes, even though I literally didn't say porn in the first 10 minutes, you'll still get 70,000 likes because they're just people that want to hate. It's not criticism. None of it's criticism. It's just hatred.
Plushies, cool, congrats. The second reply says, sell merch of Moxie's dad, who is portrayed as abusive and wrong in the show, I think.
He's a villain! My Hero Academia sells freaking merch for Shigaraki, okay?
This is just complete stupidity. They're basically saying you can't sell merch of evil characters. Yeah. This reply saying, Twitter users when they walk into Walmart and see a Darth Vader action figure.
That's a good tweet.
Just perfectly reiterates how stupid the entire argument is. The next one says, use her only lesbian couple twice in an inherently sexual line of pins. Question.
Bro, the entire show is like that. I don't know.
Questionably so. This again just makes no sense. The images aren't inherently sexual. The first one is vagging.
Well, this one's kind of sexual, but again, I don't even think that's a problem.
and Charlie hugging, while the second one is a reference to the lipstick meme. The next tweet is showcasing some Valentino merch. This is the same as the Crimson Point. They're basically saying you can't have merch of evil characters, which is stupid.
So stupid, bro. So dumb. Tell that to all the 6-year-olds playing with Endeavor action figures from My Hero Academia.
The final two tweets discuss Sally Mae. One says, and lastly, she's made a ton of sexualized merch of her only trans character, who has one line, by the way, that also overexpulges her bulge, constantly to a not normal degree. So the first thing is that the first sentence is complete misinformation. Sally Mae isn't the only trans character in the show, there's several. Secondly is that the voice actor of Morgana Ignis said that Sally Mae's merch is the way it is because it's to emphasize how she's a body positive trans character. I discussed this point way back in my video dedicated to the Sally Mae discourse, and I have no idea why it's still being brought up. Hunter B, one of the Spindlehorse team,
you don't know why it's brought up to get likes. The end.
A quote retweet saying, when I made the Stella and Sally Mae pin-up print, I worked very closely with Morgana, Sally Mae's actress. I wanted to get Sally Mae completely right, and the bulge was requested. Trans characters do not owe you comfort. They have every right to feel sexy and express it. This just reiterates what I said. The merch was designed that way and there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people are saying the OP is transphobic because of these statements, so it looks like it backfired on them. This thread is a complete nothing burger, and it's clear it was created to jump on the current hate train against Viv on her shows. They wanted to go straight after Spindlehorse's pockets by bashing the merch and trying to see issues that aren't really there. Overall, just a mess of a thread and another one added to the pile of nonsense. So with the recent stuff covered, it's time to move on. In the next section, I'll talk about how Vivzie handles criticism as a whole and why these responses can end up hurting her.
Oh yeah, here it comes. Here's the rough one.
Her image. So within the past year or so, Vivziepop has gained the reputation of being unable to take criticism. In my past videos and comment sections, you can see how myself and most fans would disagree with this statement. Vivzie is always...
I mean, I don't think she's unable to take criticism. I just think that she does a really bad job of responding to criticism, or responding to hate in general.
An extraordinary amount of hate, so her responding was just a product of that. However, within the past couple of months, for me and many others, our opinion has changed on this. We still think overall Vivzie is a great person who makes great shows. However, she definitely has a hard time taking criticism on board and reacting appropriately. I'll explain why. On Vivzie's Twitter, she's mentioned criticism numerous times. In a thread posted back in June, she addresses this exact topic. I'll leave the thread on screen, so feel free to pause.
She doesn't need to respond to any of this. Oh my god, bro.
Pause and read in your own time. She says that she's had the
People say it's unprofessional to acknowledge this kind of thing. No, it's dumb to acknowledge this kind of thing.
Can't take criticism reputation for years because of the bad webcomics wiki, which is true. It was one of the first forums to extensively document and discuss her and her art. She talks about the difference between good faith and bad faith criticism, and then finishes off by saying, power to those who give good criticism. So from Viv's tweets, she asserts that overall she's receptive to criticism and loves discussing it. It's just the bad faith stuff that she dislikes, which is completely fine.
Honestly, that is completely fine, and that is a very valid stance, and I almost believe it. I do probably believe it. I guess I'm 90% on board with that, but responding to the hate, that's the problem. And also, I think she sometimes can't differentiate between criticism and hate, or she can't differentiate between, like, dumb meme just for the shits and giggles and hate. Like, the Amazing Digital Circus, if it was written by a hell of a boss and it just has a lot of swearing, like, I don't think that's hate or criticism. I think that's just a meme. And the fact that she blocked it and talked about like it was criticism or hate is ridiculous.
However, is that as time passes, you can't really use this excuse forever. Viv says she can respond well to criticism, but as I will discuss, there's numerous situations that raise a few eyebrows. 9 months ago, Vivzie subtweeted a video by a channel called Dire Gentlemen, but they've since rebranded to We Are Not Alive. They made a video called Why Did Hell of a Boss Fall Off So Hard? I watched the video back when it came out, and although I don't agree with everything said in the video, it was overall pretty decent and did have some worthwhile opinions that I empathise with, especially relating to character beats, plot progression and tonal issues. Vivzie saw the video and didn't like it at all. She made a subtweet about it along with several replies. To some people this came off
bro, imagine making responses to criticism videos. Oh my god, bro. Either learn from it or disagree with it, but you're gonna make responses for credit. First of all, I don't think this is true. I didn't watch this video, so I could just be totally talking out of my ass. But why did Hell of a Boss fall off so hard? It's still getting hella views. It didn't fall off. You might not like the quality anymore. You might not like how things have changed. I don't know. I don't think it fell off. So I disagree with the title, even though I didn't watch the video. So just fully saying this. I'm sure there is constructive criticism in this video. That said, to go on a whole rant talking about how that video is wrong is such a bad look. It is such a bad look.
She's punching down or unreceptive to criticism. Personally, I think there was no need for the tweets to be made. If Vivzie wanted to discuss the issue, surely she could have reached out to the YouTuber in question and discussed it in private DMs with them. Engaging with others and sharing ideas is great, but doing hostile tweets doesn't really benefit anyone. Putting someone on blast for making a YouTube video wasn't a good look. One thing Viv does a lot is respond to random accounts or obvious trolls. For example, someone will tweet out something inflammatory, Viv
Did you really need to defend your series' honor to this guy who made humor penis joke?
will reply, and then it'll start a shitstorm. People will then use this example of Viv responding as ammunition against her in the future. It's a vicious cycle, and it's been going on for nearly a decade now. Another example is the fanfiction thread she made. Vivzie made a thread about some main criticisms, one being the fact that people call her plots fanfiction, basically saying they're bad or completely out of left field, akin to something a fan would write on a site like Wattpad. You won't be surprised to find out that the thread spiraled out of control, and Viv replied over 20 times to random users and argued about the subject. One person brought up how Vivzie reacted negatively to criticism in the past, mentioning the Dire Gentleman video from earlier. Viv's response was to say she doesn't know what video they're referring to, but it wasn't good faith criticism regardless. By this point, people started to notice this pattern and were getting fed up. Over on the Helluva Boss subreddit, the comments section featured comments with hundreds of upvotes saying the same sort of points I've mentioned so far. That Viv needs to stop responding to every single tweet that criticizes the show, and that giving them attention of any kind reinforces their behavior.
What's ironic though is anyone that's actual opinion of the Helluva Boss show changes because of Vivziepop's habit of responding on Twitter, that's stupid too. Like, dude, I could like Harry Potter and dislike J.K. Rowling, okay? Just as a simple example. That's an extreme case per se. I don't dislike Vivziepop at all. I just think it's literally fueling the fire. You are fueling your haters.
I've witnessed firsthand the tide shift and people start to get fed up. A couple months ago, Twitter went up in smoke because of Elon Musk's purchase, and Vivzie made a Blue Sky account. For fans, this was a step in the right direction because she would perhaps be able to escape the toxicity of Twitter and talk about more upbeat topics. Unfortunately, however, Vivzie went back to posting the same sort of content, the most recent being a post about how bad video essays are. Vivzie reposted a reply from a Spindlehorse team member that said that some criticisms go against the core foundation of the show, so it's likely that Viv's tweet was referring to video essays made about her shows in particular. With Blue Sky as a platform more or less dead in the water, Vivzie went back to Twitter and again went back into the Twitter cycle. And lastly, we have the digital circus situation I discussed at the start of the video. It again just follows the same sort of format as the previous Twitter situation. Viv does a subtweet or a response for no reason. A shitstorm starts, leading to Vivzie being viewed as the bad guy and getting heavy criticism. This situation is then piled in with the rest and further reinforces the stereotype that she can't handle criticism. As you can see from the video so far,
Dude, when someone tells you you can't handle criticism, if you say, it's not true, I can handle criticism, you have just proved that you can't handle criticism. I don't know what. I feel like this is the most obvious shit in the world and doesn't need to be said. If anyone tells you you can't handle criticism, you know what the response should be? Wow. Thank you.
It's a bit of a complicated situation. A lot of the controversy revolving around Viv is complete nonsense and is fueled purely by spite. On the other hand, as I've showcased, Vivzie has a hard time ignoring these situations and responds, which unfortunately makes things worse. As time has went on, fans of her and the shows have started to become disenfranchised. People have noticed this pattern and started to get sick of the constant arguing, with some saying that Viv puts herself into these situations. People have been saying for over a year at this point that Viv should get off Twitter, stop responding so much, or—
True, I'm pretty much off Twitter at this point. I have a Twitter. I actually deleted it from my phone. Like, I am barely on Twitter at this point. And it's healthy. I used to be on Twitter not to respond, just to read stuff. It was like a time sponge. A negative time sponge.
Get a social media manager. None of these things have been resolved, and it just feels like things get more hostile with every passing week. As for my thoughts, I'm sick and tired of it. Long-time viewers of my channel will know my takes on these situations and how I've said many times that she should just disengage from Twitter. It's especially troubling because Twitter is so essential to the advertisement of the shows. News, updates, and sneak peeks are revealed on Vivzie's account. This leads to a situation where you have to—
That's why just use your account for news, sneak peeks and shit. Don't actually do anything else.
Follow her to keep up to date. However, if you do, you're bombarded by all of this drama and other nonsense. This was pretty bad in 2021, where Vivzie would regularly engage with politics. Getting political on
I remember that.
Twitter is a recipe for disaster, and Vivzie felt this firsthand with the Scott Cawthon situation. That situation has been used against her ever since, and as a result, Vivzie hasn't really discussed politics much. The only way this can be resolved is for Vivzie to just relax with the way she reacts to stuff on Twitter. One example I thought was pretty helpful was her thread on Millie a while back. Some people interpreted this as her shifting along the goalposts, but I thought it was a unique insight into the character. Millie has been criticised for a while, so it was interesting to see Viv's take on the topic, along with providing hints for future episodes that will involve Millie. Her statement about Hazbin Hotel being female-led ruffled a few feathers though. So I reckon if Vivzie focused more on engaging like that, or just not responding to trolls or subtweeting, then things will quieten down a lot. The reputation about her not taking criticism will eventually fade, and people will move on.
Well, it'll only fade if she leaves.
So overall, I understand why Vivzie is labelled as unable to take criticism, but I don't think it's necessarily fair. I know Vivzie doesn't mean any harm, but it's just sad to see this sort of stuff happen time and time again. I haven't lost hope though, and I'm excited for the future. When Hazbin releases, it's likely to have a bunch of garbage discourse like when the pilot first came out. We've already seen some nonsense opinions.
Dude, it's gonna start on Prime, and Twitter's gonna get absolutely riled up by how many times they say the word fuck, and they're gonna get really, really mad. And I just hope Vivziepop could just walk away with the cash that she is paid by Prime and not need to actually get involved in the discussions
on Twitter so far. So hopefully by that point, Viv has reformed her tweeting and taken a step back. I tried to make this video as balanced as possible, a bit like my video on Vivzie's art style. It had a wonderful reception, and I had a lot of comments thanking me for identifying the issues with her art, why people think this way, and then providing some ways to remedy the criticisms. Hopefully this video will be perceived the same way, or I'll just get eaten alive by a mob on Twitter. That could also happen. If you agree with my takes or have any of your own, I'd love for you to leave them in the comments section down below.
Thanks for joining this toxic gossip train. I need the freaking Colleen Ballinger ukulele video as an outro for these videos. But thank you so much for being here. This is my my incredibly based take. Just fucking stop acknowledging the people. Vivziepop, for the love of God. I know it's annoying, but like, please. God damn! It's like most issues could literally be solved that way. Anyway, that's it. See ya. Ladies and gentlemen, Hazbin Hotel is coming out very, very soon on Amazon Prime. People are very excited that it's happening because, in my humble opinion, Hazbin Hotel's freaking awesome. However, a lot of people don't see that the same way. You see, let me tell you something about people on the internet that have public personalities and that do things that are relatively edgy. They get so much hate and harassment for it. It happened to me. It happens to freaking Vivziepop. And, you know, it even happens to wholesome people like Joe Cat, who's unfortunately quitting YouTube because he's getting harassed off the internet, and it's a travesty. So right now, Hazbin Hotel is getting insane amounts of crazy hate for their Alistair situation. Now, again, I never knew that this was a thing. However, Vivziepop is being called racist for making Alistair a character in Hazbin Hotel because he based Hazbin Hotel, she based Alistair off voodoo. I never in my life thought that this was a cause for calling her racist. This story is insane. All right, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna cover it, and we're gonna be too real about it because unfortunately, there's no one on Twitter that's real about this shit because it's just a mindless hate pool, and no one actually wants to see positivity there. Let's jump right into it. All right, let's go.
Since the release of the Hazbin Hotel pilot back in 2019, one of the most contentious characters has been Alistair. He's
Alistair, by the way, just saying, would.
A fan favourite, but also has a complicated lore and backstory.
I freaking love Alistair! God damn! Why you gotta cancel my boy?
In the past few days, a situation has unfolded regarding him, Vivzie's depiction of him, along with recent Hazbin trading cards. In this video, I'll create a timeline of what happened, discuss it a little, and provide some concluding thoughts.
I'm gonna get cancelled for my take on this. Oh, fuck, am I gonna get blasted? And you know what? We do what we can. We do our best.
So, on the 22nd of December, a tweet was made titled, "Everyone involved in this is going straight to super hell."
Fuck, bro. Okay, 8,000 likes. I don't even know what... When I saw this... okay, people are going to super hell for this tweet. I don't even know what's wrong.
The tweet ended up getting 8k likes and 3.9 million views. After this, a conversation was sparked around Alistair and his depiction in the show. One tweet says, "If you're a white artist, writer, or anything, do not use voodoo at all in your works anymore. Y'all keep effing it up and we gotta take it away."
27,000 likes, by the way. It's a little cut off on the screen because it's at the bottom. 27,000 likes on this tweet. If you're a white artist, writer, or anything, don't use voodoo at all in your works. I didn't know that this is like a thing where just because you're in a certain culture, okay? Is every other culture now off limits for you to talk about? If I'm a white person writing a story, am I not allowed to have religions that I am not part of in the story. What kind of a rule is this? Like, I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Are white creators not allowed to have Jews in their story? It's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like, can you imagine a story, all right, a white guy makes a whole universe with 0 black characters, they get hate. But if they use a religion that they're not a part of, they get hate? I don't even know. First of all, just saying, I didn't even know voodoo was a religion. This is like eye-opening Nuxanor lore, okay? Dude, I love looking into different religious stuff. It's like my favorite thing. I had no idea voodoo was a religion.
Do not use voodoo at all in your works anymore. Y'all keep effing it up and we gotta take it away. Another says, white people, after being one of the main reasons why voodoo as a religion has a negative stigma of being associated with evil, just to appropriate it and misuse it for themselves.
What does that exactly mean? Appropriate it and misuse it for themselves? It's not like they're doing voodoo, they're just talking about it in fiction.
One says, wanted to add that the demonization of voodoo dates back to slavery in the US, emerging out of fear from slaveholders that it would cause the Africans and African Americans then enslaved to rise up against them. Alistair's evil portrayal with voodoo is a continuation of the demonization started by slaveholders 200 plus years ago.
Dude, you know that Alistair's like the fan favorite character, right? You know that people love Alistair. Literally the fan favorite character.
This should not be tolerated. People aren't calling this out because they're sensitive or want attention. They are calling this out because this is a genuine racist portrayal of a minority group, culture, and religion.
I'm so confused.
One tweet says, Vivziepop said she will dial back on the voodoo sigils out of respect, basically saying that Vivzie should have used fictional symbols. There were also tweets that brought up Alistair's design. Many Twitter users created their own fan redesigns of Alistair. So, from these tweets, the general consensus is that Vivzie's depiction of Alistair is problematic for a couple of reasons. The first being Alistair's design. Alistair is canonically half Creole, but to some users they say his design doesn't reflect his culture or race enough. The second is his
design doesn't reflect his culture or race. Bro is a demon, like an actual demon.
His links with voodoo. Voodoo is a closed religion, so you need permission to practice it. So
yeah, when I heard this, I was like, closed religion, permission to practice it. First of all, this isn't practicing it. Second of all, I don't understand what closed religion even means. Like, as far as my understanding of religion goes, I would think that religion is just a state of faith. I didn't think that you needed permission to be in one religion or the other. But then again, I don't know this shit, and I don't know. I don't know.
So it's unlikely that Vivzie got permission to depict voodoo in this.
But she doesn't need permission to depict what? It's a closed religion, so you can't practice it without permission. So you can never talk about voodoo? Do you know how many things have voodoo dolls in them? Voodoo dolls are like one of the most common freaking fictional tropes ever. Why can you not depict that? And why is she getting hate for it when everyone can get away with voodoo? Scooby-Doo has voodoo in it. I don't see them canceling Scooby-Doo for it.
And lastly, there's some criticism because of the depiction of voodoo in the shows, such as Alistair's trading card featuring real-life voodoo symbols. There was also a scene where...
Yeah, that was probably a Vivziepop L. She should have probably not used those exact symbols just for the sake of it. You are writing a fictional story. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You use different cultures and religions, you get hate for appropriating them. You don't use different cultures and religion, and you're a racist. Like, I don't understand.
Voodoo strings.
And that's why you can't take Twitter seriously. The end.
It's attached. So basically people are saying that Vivzie and the show are stereotyping the religion as something negative. Following these discussions, people began to label Vivzie and the shows as racist. One such example being a TikTok that racked up over 60k likes with the caption, "Me when Vivziepop is actually like racist," and
dude, I get this fucking shit all the time. There's so many TikToks of me when I finally know Nux is a bad person and I could hate him out loud. I don't have to hide my hatred for him anymore.
Finally hate her unabashedly. The TikTok was eventually deleted. Comparisons started to be made about Alistair and his similarities to Dr. Facilier, with tweets pointing out the depictions of both characters. One tweet was made saying, "I don't give a fuck if you guys like Hazbin or whatever the fuck, but if I see y'all defending the racist and anti-black decisions made by the show's writers, I'm blocking you. You guys should be able to..."
Oh no, I'm gonna get blocked by this guy. That's crazy. I don't see any anti-black decisions, but maybe this is coming from a place of ignorance on my part, okay? I would need to do research on this shit before making an actual opinion. However, based on what I saw, I didn't see anti-black decisions. Well, I don't know why depicting a religion is anti-black or anti any form of religion, to be honest.
To recognize when something is worthy of criticism with your favorite media, no excuses. Allegedly, Vivziepop blocked the user after this tweet, which...
See, Vivziepop has to stop freaking doing this, bro. You do realize it's just a receipt. It's a receipt. If you... God damn it, just mute. Don't block, just mute. God damn it, Vivziepop, for the love of God, stop doing this, please. I'm begging you. Stop reacting to this stuff. It'll disappear, maybe. And if not, not. But you're making it louder.
Started more discussion. People started to mention how Vivzie responds to criticism and uses Twitter in general. Others said that the issue should have been addressed by Viv. One example being a tweet featuring an edited 4chan meme template saying, "Gets criticized once, dies."
Yeah, it's a funny fucking meme. Like, let's be real here. That's pretty accurate. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty...
Again, poking fun at the way Viv responds to situations. Another quote retweet says, "Well, that's a wrap, folks. She's very much well aware and doesn't give a fuck about people of color."
I don't know if she doesn't give a fuck about people of color. They do, however, she does give a fuck about getting hated, obviously. It's a pretty big jump to see she's blocking someone that's hating on her and take that as an affirmation that she hates people of color. That's pretty crazy.
Allegedly, the new voice actor of Alistair, Amir Talai, was sent harassment on Twitter. One Twitter user was also sent death threats over some tweets made about the situation. A little later, a Twitter thread...
Okay, death threats on Twitter are as plentiful as grains of sand, okay? Like, death threats on Twitter are basically just proving to you that you exist. I get daily death threats on Twitter. That said, for people that don't get daily death threats on Twitter, the first one is crazy. I still remember my first death threat. It was for saying that Deku is a bad protagonist from My Hero Academia. That day, I got my first death threat, and you know what? It still sits on me to this day. Someone saying if I ever see you in real life, I will beat the hell out of you and murder you. And I sat there when I saw that first death threat I've ever received, and I thought, holy shit, this is actually really scary. That's very scary. But then when it happens a lot, it kind of just blends in together.
Thread was made titled, due to the controversy, here is a thread of Vivziepop's lovely people of colour character designs in her franchises. The thread features various designs from Viv's projects, ranging from Zoophobia to Helluva Boss. The thread was quoted with, "None of the background characters in Helluva Boss are hers, they're all done by her background artists. Give credit to them."
I mean, most of the characters in Helluva Boss are, like, demons, right? I don't think Moxie or Millie or Blitz, like, they aren't people of color, but they're also not people of color. Like, let's...
Not her, which received over 6k likes. On the 25th, a tweet was made saying, "How is anyone surprised that Viv makes racist stereotypes when she posts on her Instagram? Her enjoying Starbucks, McDonald's and KFC, companies that support the genocide of Palestine. Girlie doesn't even care about real people of color."
What the hell? What kind of an accusation is this? Of course Vivziepop's racist. She goes to Starbucks, which supports Israel. Wow!
So that's everything covered so far. As for my thoughts, I think it's an incredibly complex issue. Myself and many others aren't experts on these topics, so it's not necessarily our place to make a definitive statement on the matter. There definitely is some discussion to be had, and I think it's good to discuss this criticism in a positive manner. Unfortunately, there was harassment and death threats being thrown around, and it's completely uncalled for. People should be able to discuss these ideas without being sent harassment. There was a Medium article made back in 2020 on this exact topic with...
See, I get it. I don't know anything about voodoo as a religion, and I definitely need to do some research before actually making massive claims or anything. I'm just saying I don't see this and say she's racist. I think at worst she's ignorant. At worst she's ignorant. And saying that, oh, she ate KFC? Probably racist. Like, that's a real brain dead take right there. Like, I don't know why depicting things that are not part of your culture is counted as racist or appropriation. Like, I don't get that logic. I've mentioned this before, and I've gotten hate for it before, but I really want someone to explain to me why cultural appropriation is bad. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. I guess monetizing it in some way, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. I wish I could, someone could explain it to me.
Such as the dolls and pins. At the bottom of the article, it says the same sort of sentiment I had, that it would have been better if Alistair instead used fictional symbols.
Oh, I agree. I actually do agree with that take, and I mentioned this earlier. It would have been nice if she would have made fictional symbols. That was probably just a dumb choice on her part. But again, I think that stems from ignorance. It doesn't stem from racism. I don't think she hates black people because she has Alistair using voodoo symbols.
Perhaps deer related. With the show releasing in January and the trading cards already out, it means these sort of discussions will continue into the future, and it's unlikely that anything will be changed.
Yeah.
So that's everything I wanted to talk about. If you have any thoughts on the situation, I'd love for you to leave them in the comments section down below.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Lamau. You're really cool about covering this stuff. I appreciate how open you are to both sides and how cool you are about me reacting to your shit and dropping my 2 cents. All in all, This situation really sucks. It really sucks. And I hope no one's actually offended by this. I can't understand people being offended by this. You know how many stupid little cartoons there are of Jewish black magic? When I see that shit, I literally laugh. Maybe it's my edgy sense of humor, okay? That is maybe my edgy sense of humor, but it's like, ah, yes, he's using his Jewish black magic. Dude, that's funny as hell. But again, that's my perspective. This situation's just insane. I wish I understood better so that I could actually have some sort of formulated opinion, but in my mind, using a different culture in your work and not disrespecting the culture, again, like, if we recognize a culture as an existing culture, then that means that there are going to be good people in that culture, and there are going to be bad people in that culture. Like, literally everywhere. That there are good Jews and there are bad Jews, just like there's going to be good black people and bad black people, and good white people and bad white people, right? I feel like this is just humans. So I don't know if this is an example of being racist, just because, aside from the fact that Alice is just freaking awesome. I love that guy. He's literally my favorite character. Like, if anything, this is dope. I don't know. Maybe that's my cringe take on this. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, my guy A. just made a video covering the recent drama, and we are going to be getting into it. He's going to be our guide. The Vivziepop Angel Dust Hazbin Hotel Controversy Explained. I feel like this man just put every single keyword he could have possibly done in this in the title, but it's accurate. So let me catch you up to speed. In Hazbin Hotel, the official release is sort of out. It was released for a pre-release for the first 2 episodes. I did pay for the pre-release. I did already watch them. I recorded my reactions, but I will wait until the actual official prime release until I post them on YouTube. They were, I think, great. I think they were really good. They were not the best things I've ever seen, but they were really good in my humble opinion. Now, people want to suck some clout out of the vagina of everyone they can, because this is the internet, where clout sucking is currency. The closer and closer we get to Hazbin Hotel, the more and more drama ends up showing up for no reason, just literally to cash out any complaints that they could have had. They could have had before, but they decided to have it now to cash in on the drama. It's like Matt Pat decides to retire, and suddenly they try to cancel him for like 6 different things because, oh, well, now he's famous, and we're not gonna get a better chance than this to try to suck some clout off these fake campaigns of hatred. So it's been an absolute nightmare on Twitter, and unfortunately Vivziepop is fanning the flames of this controversy by responding and replying and trying to defend herself and all that stuff, which she should not do. And I promise Stevie, the editor, that I will not be complaining the entire video about how she should just ignore criticism and it would make things much better. But I might do that a little bit, but I'm gonna try not to do it too much. Just note, everything Vivziepop says through the course of this controversy, I think would have been better without saying. That is my disclaimer before we get into it. Editor, if you could please put a counter for how many times I criticized Vivziepop for literally that same thing. Thank you.
Recently, we had the early access launch of the first 2 episodes of Hazbin Hotel. As a result, hate and criticism for both Hazbin Hotel and Vivziepop has hit a new high.
Literally, it's insane. I don't think I've ever seen such an all-time high hatred for this shit. It's absolutely wild.
This level of hate in all of my time of creating content, so in this video I'll go through—
Okay, this level of hate in all your time of creating content, let's be real. People got more hate than Vivziepop. I know that a lot of people don't like to acknowledge the fact that other people get more hate than them because it makes people feel less important and stuff. Vivziepop hate is incredibly surface level. Vivziepop's hate is like your show is shit and you say the fuck word and think that that's comedy. Like, it's hatred to hate. It's not like a real vitriol, like compared to what Dream went through or Quite went through. I think false allegations of actual sexual crimes are by far worse than anything any of this was. Like let's be real here. Just to kind of like put levels to this stuff. This is bad, don't get me wrong. And yes, Vivziepop's making it worse. But let's be honest for a second. Ultimately, this is just people complaining on Twitter for the sake of complaining.
Everything that happened, Vivzi's tweets, and give my thoughts at the end.
And also a certain situation that happens in episode 5 of Hazbin Hotel that got leaked that a lot of people were upset about. But fuck, man, that's gross. All right, you are not right. Buckle your seatbelts, people.
And as well. So, as I mentioned, the first 2 episodes—
God! I'm just saying. I am just saying Angel Dust can get some. Wood.
Released early.
He has fantastic holes.
They were also leaked, which I did a dedicated video on, but after this happened, Vivzi was getting criticism. One point in particular being the character designs for a few characters like Alistair and—
This is the most nothing design. Oh my god. 15,000 likes. Dude, again, this is just like an actual economy of shitting on Vivziepop for the clout. And it's ridiculous. It's gross. First of all, just for the record, it doesn't need to be more than this. How can you hate the Tumblr sexy man television guy? Like, why, bro? It's totally fine. There is nothing here to actually be all upset about. Yes, it's not the most interesting character design of all time, but it's pretty cool.
And Vox. There were tweets made on it that got anywhere between 1,000 to 20,000 likes. Episode 4 of Hazbin Hotel specifically has to do a lot with Angel Dust and is when they debuted the Poison song. A clip of that sequence was leaked.
Oh my god, that character doesn't have 25 unique features. It's so boring. Thank you, Kickstaff. Love you guys.
On Twitter, and many users were quite upset. I'll showcase a couple tweets.
Yeah, so no spoilers, obviously, gonna be in this video. This is just gonna be covering the drama aspect of it.
First says, to all of my followers who plan on watching Hazbin Hotel, I would like to extend a special trigger warning for episode 4, slight spoilers. There is a scene where Angel Dust in detail is assaulted by Val. You see every horrible detail and nothing is at all left to the imagination. None of it is handled with tact. If you are sensitive to this kind of thing, I'd recommend you skip the entirety of the poison scene and a minute or so after. A tweet in the reply showcased...
Yeah, so just to say things beforehand, and I really do believe it is worth me mentioning something very, very specific. Very specific. This is how every single episode of Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel starts. This is the beginning of every single episode. The following cartoon contains graphic violence, strong language, sexual themes, flashing lights, rampant demon horniness. Yes, it's intended for a mature audience. You do not need more of a trigger warning than something like this. I think that this is important to mention. Like, trying to cancel someone for showing graphic violence and stuff, bro, how dare you make believe this is a legitimate criticism? If sexual themes and graphic violence and demon horniness bothers you, the disclaimer is there and you know what you're getting into. If you got to episode 4 to see this scene, you know exactly what's going on. That's 1. 2, and I think this is important to mention, being that these are just a couple of scenes leaked and shit from episode 4, which, let me remind you, is not even out yet, how dare you complain when you don't know the context at all of what's going on? I am all for giving criticism. I like giving criticism to things that I think deserve criticism. Guys, this is rated TV mature, and you don't know the context. How dare you criticize something like this when there is so much of this in so much media and fiction? It's obviously hating just to hate, because you know that there's a massive hate boner for this stuff on Twitter, so you could farm your easy likes by doing this shit. I'm just saying, that's my hot take.
The scene in question, and it got over 1.5 million views. I'll show a couple quote retweets. This one says, "When you wake up and Vivziepop is still alive."
I don't know, I got this same exact meme about myself, okay? Dude, it has 4.5 thousand likes. You never want to see some 4,500 people liking a tweet saying that it would be better if you were dead. That sucks, but also that's the internet.
Me when I have rocks and Vivzi's head is in my throwing range.
Yeah, again, this has 2.7 thousand likes, all right? 2,700 likes of just casually saying, if I could, I would hurt Vivziepop. That really sucks. This is awful. This is a borderline threat. It's so bad. Can you imagine being this hated for creating some piece of fiction that some people arbitrarily don't like? I'm telling you, these people ruin what Twitter is supposed to be. They ruin what discourse is supposed to be. I know that this is a meme, and don't get me wrong, I've gotten worse tweets than this, but I'm just saying, and I mean this with love and peace and wholesomeness in my heart. If you are trying to make a safe space for people complaining about legitimate issues, then you gotta not complain about bullshit. It delegitimizes the claims of anyone that has anything to actually say.
And one longer thread was made.
Oh my god, what is this thread? 20,000 likes on the first one. Okay, I'm gonna break my silence as a gay man and a victim. I hate Angel Dust. I hate him, and I hate how his fan acts like he's the pinnacle of gay men. I hate it. I don't know about if fans act that way. That's nothing that I've seen. Again, you are completely allowed to hate any character you want. And again, if something like this really annoys Vivziepop, that's kind of on Vivziepop. This is like, I guess, a legitimate sort of argument, right? How gay people are considered sinners and all that. Again, I'm not going to say that this isn't a legitimate criticism, because the point isn't this. The point is the people just saying casually, oh, I wish I could just kill Vivziepop in Minecraft. Right? Those guys are the cringe harassers for no reason. Like, legitimate criticism, I don't think anyone complains about. I happen to love Angel Dust. I am not gay, though, so can't say.
The full thing on screen if you'd like to pause and read in your own time, but it starts with, trigger warning, essay. Okay, I'm gonna break my silence. As a gay man and victim, I effing hate Angel Dust. I hate him, and I hate how his fans act like he's the pinnacle of gay men. I hate it. And they finished it.
I feel like this is a lot of, it's his personal bias that makes him feel this way to a degree. Again, I feel terrible that this guy is a victim, okay? I don't want to... Not trying to delegitimize anyone, but hating him, that's fine. Hating how his fans act like he's the pinnacle of gay men. Have you ever seen anything like that? I have not. Maybe it exists, because everything exists. But I feel like this is just throwing shade at invisible enemies, literally shadowboxing no one, and making an issue in the fan base that doesn't really exist so that you could arbitrarily create a villain that you could send hate towards and get love for standing up against this invisible foe. That's kind of the vibe this gets. Me. Again, I am not the drama channel that's going to sit here and just quote all the facts. I'm going to try my best to give my opinions, whether you want to kill me for them or not.
There's a thread saying
but I don't see anyone talking about Angel Dust like he's the pinnacle of gay men. I feel like that's insane. I've never heard of this, and even if you've seen it somewhere, you see tweets saying everything. You can't just take a tweet with 6 likes and be like, I can't believe the fandom would do something like this.
Addict music video did a better job at conveying Angel Dust's trauma and distress. However, the way it's done in the final show is abysmal. After this, some heavy criticism was aimed at one of the Spindle employees that worked on the poison scene. Their name is R2 Ninja Turtle or Raph.
Dude, how can you hate on on employees? They're literally being paid to do this. They gotta put food on the table, man. Unless they're hating this person for a different reason that I'm not sure about.
Thread in December, which I'll have on screen again if you'd like to pause and read. But basically, people were criticizing this artist because they ship Angel Dust with Valentino.
Oh. Oh, he's one of those shipping people. Oh! Ah, yes!
Criticism was levied because of their NSFW art, how they were endorsed by other Spindle members, a reply they made to an R-word art piece, and a tweet made by them where they say they're not an SA victim but have had years of being controlled. A tweet was also brought up showing Raph and Vivzie endorsing or saying they want to purchase a pin set for Huskin Angel that shows them being chained up. So, following up...
Wait, so they're hating this person for having a cringe fetish? Like, is that really why you're hating this person? I mean, I guess, okay. Hope you've never dipped your toe into any hentai communities. You don't want to know how popular the fucking rape tag is everywhere. It's not my thing. I get very grossed out by that stuff, but I guess nothing to say right now.
All of this, Vivzie made...
Verbally shaking right now. Bro spent $50K for a rape fantasy. Oh my god.
Several tweets on the issue. Vivzie starts with, this place is just effing embarrassing at this point, y'all should come over to thread/Insta.
And that's it. That's what she said, and she never said anything on the topic ever again. God, I'm so happy she finally decided this was the end of her Twitter discourse. Epic foreshadowing.
One person asked what
Never mind, I take it all back. I was so wrong. No.
happened. Vivzie says, literally everything, lol. One user mentions that Twitter is awful. Vivzie says, I think anywhere the 15-year-old of the week can't get 20k likes in an inaccurate rage post is a good place to be.
Oh, God. First of all, you're right. Second of all, you don't have to do it as like a subtle jab. Okay, dude, the editor's just going to keep adding the +1s. I'm sorry, Stevie. I'm sorry. God, just ignore it. I don't think calling out the 15-year-old of the week is going to stop them from doing it, though. God, Vivziepop, please. You're giving them so much attention. Stop.
When reply says that Twitter users lack common sense, Vivzie replies with,
It's like, yes, I will feed humans to the cannibals so that the cannibals aren't hungry enough to eat more humans.
honestly, I think it's just the same circle jerk of people. There's a lot of them, and exaggerated/negative posts are easier to jump onto than, corrections of misinformation or people with critical thinking. That's not what this place is for, but far more people don't care. In response, one user replied and reassured Viv. They said, you hired someone with an R-word and non-con fetish onto your staff. At this point, you should receive heavy backlash.
Holy shit, 11,000 likes. Hidden reply. Vivziepop, you gotta stop hiding replies. It looks like you care. But also, god damn, 11,000 likes. Getting absolutely ratioed. Non-con is a non-consent fetish. First of all, let's make a clarification and a differentiation between this as a fetish in media versus actually something that people do in real life. I'm just saying, that's one. Two, does she have to vet every one of her employees' fetishes? It's like, before Stevie edits my video, do I have to ask him what his favorite hentai tags are? Does Stevie have to give me a list of all the porn he's ever consumed so that I could make sure that he didn't actually watch anything that I consider gross and yucky? Like, what take is this exactly? I'm just not sure.
Vivziepop hid this reply and blocked the user. As a result, she got heavy criticism for this. One Twitter reply from Viv says how much better Threads is than Twitter. She replied to an earlier tweet saying, "I know there are far more people who love than hate, and the things that get the massive likes at this point have regressed to the most laughably effed up stuff I've ever seen. It's just really annoying. So I think I've just sort of had enough. I'm
Just don't leave Twitter!
trying really not to be on here."
Listen, you don't need to be there. You made your bank. Dude, can you explain to me why Vivziepop has been on Twitter for all this time, okay? And still, she didn't announce the actual voice cast for the freaking show. It was some random article that announced it somewhere, and then when people tried to cover that article that talked about the voice cast for Hazbin Hotel, they got copyright strikes by that article. Why didn't you announce it? This is why you have a Twitter, right? Why didn't you tell people that there was going to be like a normal pre-release? I don't know anyone that actually knew about the pre-release thing for the $6 that you could watch it a week early before it happened. Bro!
One person replies supporting Viv. Viv says, "That's why I suggest people head over to Insta. It's night and day, and you can see more of what I've been doing over there."
And just leave and never come back. There's no reason. There's no reason. Oh.
A tweet was made with the caption, "Rut Row," showcasing Vivzie endorsing a Valentino music video made by Raph back in 2021. Vivzie says, "Oh wow, something unofficial, wow." Vivzie replied to an earlier quote retweet saying, "The scene isn't effing out yet. You people see leaked snippets and hear some dumbass say it's something and all act like you're so above it. Get over yourselves, at least speak on it when the actual scene comes out, Christ."
Honestly, very based Vivian take. Incredibly based Vivian take. I think I mentioned this earlier in this little video segment thing. The fact that people are canceling her for a scene that's not even out is asinine. And it's going to be people that just want to hate. And because they want to hate, they will do so, and they could for free. You see, the beauty of Twitter is the following. Source, trust me, bro, works. And that doesn't make for healthy discourse, bro. It's so bad. Now, don't get me wrong. While I think she's completely correct in this case, that the scene's not out yet and it shouldn't be judged, especially because there's this disclaimer before the shit, I still don't think she should have responded. I think ignoring it would have still been better. I just need to say this so Stevie can up the Nux said that counter. But bro, come on, man.
She replies to another user with, "Get the level of cruel, misinformed vitriol I do on a daily basis and talk to me then. Other creators have absolutely clapped back in the past and others have stayed silent but left the internet due to the shit they get. I fight back because that's who I am.
Well then, you know, honestly, in that case, you're just making your bed and now you have to lie in it. What a weird take. The main reason people jump on you and your shit is because you make yourself so easy to hate by conducting yourself with the grace of a middle schooler. You don't see any other creator act like this. I used to respect you and enjoy your work." Okay, that's a weird take. But why respond to that? Get the level of cruel, misinformed vitriol I do on a daily basis and talk to me then. Vivziepop. When they were releasing Epstein's list of pedophiles that visited his island, right before the list came out, someone got 20,000 likes making a tweet calling me a pedophile and saying that I would be on that list. Me, Nux, this guy that's commentating right now. So as someone that got a level of cruel, misinformed vitriol, not criticizing your work, but literally with no evidence or anything calling you a pedophile, which is, I would argue, maybe even worse. Yes, it's not the same size as the hate you're getting, but it's pretty bad. 20,000 likes is enough, millions of people. So as someone who's been in that position, just don't talk. Just don't speak. Laugh at the idiots that have nothing better to do in their day than do this shit, and cry that the world is cringe in private. Stay off Twitter. I am giving you advice as someone that gets cruel, misinformed vitriol.
Have fun hating me. She continues with,
Oh my god, dude.
Not kidding, go to anything I post and look at the quote retweets. I'm sorry you lost respect for me, that I've hit a breaking point with the full-on harassment / baseless cruelty I get constantly. I know I've been defensive in the past, I own that, but come on." She replies to someone mentioning the hidden reply. Viv says, I don't normally hide things, but it really rubs me wrong when someone tries to come for me and an SA survivor on my team based on leaked content that is widely misinterpreted. I'd appreciate if
Look, I guess you could explain your thoughts every time. And every time you explain your thoughts, I guess there will be people that see where you're coming from. But there will be more people that see it as a sign of weakness to jump down your throat, ultimately.
Watch the episode and form your own opinion. Even your attitude right now is so dismissive and unempathetic. You sit back and watch someone get unending hate, but I think since they react, they just deserve more and more and lose respect to them. I don't know, it's just sad to me. It's become more of a thing because the harassment has never been this bad.
It's true. I think Twitter is at like literally an all-time high. An all-time harassment high right now. And while I am saying things that are critical of Vivziepop's conduct on Twitter and stuff like that, don't think that means that I don't feel really bad for her that she's dealing with this. In any normal world or society, it would be completely insane, and no one throughout all of history has received this level of hatred and vitriol because there's never been such an accessibility and ease of ability to hate someone. So don't get me wrong, I feel terrible for her. I just think she's making just a terrible decision and she's feeding the flames. But God, I'm sorry.
Reached a fever pitch. It isn't my priority in any way, but it is a pretty loud constant here on Twitter. I don't think I can be here, and it's easier said than done to leave, but trust me, I'm trying.
You should. You have a life. You have people in your real life that you could care about, that you could love, that you could spend time with. Your job, you're making great money making content. There's no reason to be on Twitter for extra promos and stuff. Like, you sold a show to Prime. You succeeded. You won at YouTube. You won at the indie animator game. You won at being a storyteller. God, it's so sad. It's so sad watching. And you know, you're just addicted to constantly refreshing your notifications to see the hate every single time because you just have to see.
Vivzi made some comments about the whole thing on Threads. Only on effing Twitter can our show get late.
Okay, but no one's ever going to Threads. Going to Threads, that's that's a huge L. Bro, no, why do you go to Threads? Just like you need to talk. She needs to let it out somewhere. It's like, I feel so bad for her, but like, God, you're digging your own grave.
So unfairly with random.
She gets off to the hate. Okay, dude, that's insane. And that's definitely not the case. I just think that she feels like if she keeps talking with rational common sense, finally people will stop hating on her. And that's just not gonna happen. Rational common sense does not work on Twitter.
Random shots from scenes that are shown way out of context, and people circle jerk about what they think the scene is or how bad something is done without even seeing it. It's so effing stupid, and I'm over it. It doesn't take away from what we've done and how proud we are of it. But this insane standard we are held to is ridiculous, and Twitter is just a cesspit. My truest 2024 goal is getting the F away from it. Also, ignoring the voices of SA survivors just because you want to shit on a cartoon or scene you haven't even watched is effing disgusting, and everyone doing that in the name of moral high ground is utterly loathsome. Sorry I'm spicy right now, I saw people demanding proof of SA survivors to speak on it, and holy shit, how unself-aware can y'all effers be? Well,
again, listen, you can't, just like you had that one guy that was hating on Angel Dust because people in the community are calling Angel Dust the pinnacle of gay men, which is obviously insane. Saying that I'm upset now because I saw someone demanding proof of an SA survivor, that's kind of the same idea. The fact that there are just so many people on Twitter, and they are incredibly biased to one side or the other. And anyone that is that biased is going to say the dumbest shit imaginable. It's not a public mindset, even though there are a lot of people that do that shit. It's probably worth mentioning, but goddamn, don't you have something better to do with your life than hate on some random girl making an animation on the internet?
Probably delete later. This isn't anything new. I just wanted to scream because wow, do a lot of people on Twitter suck. It's unreal how much worse the platform has gotten.
I don't want to be some armchair psychologist, but dude, Vivziepop needs some people in her real life. The fact that she's using Threads to scream into the void is just not speaking well of her actual IRL mindset. Maybe I'm the healthy one. Maybe I'm the mentally healthy motherfucker on this platform. I don't know. But goddamn.
She continues, I'm really going to try to get off Twitter this year. It's just not worth it. But it's my biggest platform and I really did enjoy it for a long time. But
it is not your biggest platform. You get 20 million views on every video you post on YouTube. Twitter, you're gonna talk to 5,000 people on Twitter?
It's just such a bad place for me. But I do hope to see more of you over here. And her final post says, I absolutely hit a breaking point today, I don't know why, but ugh. I'm just so tired of you guys. I am sorry to ever engage in negativity, it burdens everyone and it needs to stop. I'll do my best.
One thing I do have to say, Lamau does such a good job compiling everything from all the different platforms and covering a narrative from top to end. That's why I like using his content. He's not too opinionated, which is great because I'm super opinionated, and he gets to cover the actual like facts, and I get to put my dick in holes. That was a weird analogy.
Allegedly, some Hazbin Hotel fans were sent the cat in a blender video from a couple months back.
What the fuck? Hey, don't come into my DM and send me an animal blender videos and say if you defend Vivziepop. Bet you defend Vivziepop if she wrote this. Yo, what the frick is that? Oh my god! That's horrible! Again, it could be true, could be fake, could be trying to get clout, but also could just be real because people on the internet are absolutely unhinged.
And finally, the Spindlehorse Instagram posted a story pointing out the graphic footage warning at the start of Helluva's.
Yes! Yes, be petty, my friends! The pettiness! That's what I love. That's the way to go, baby! The company's Instagram account just casually posting the goddamn disclaimer in the front of every single episode. Nothing but respect.
Videos. So that's everything covered. After taking a look at everything, it's been a bit of a complicated mess. On one hand, I can understand why a lot of people are angry at Viv and the team for the Angel Dust video. However, you can't really form a full opinion just yet without seeing the actual episode. The small clip was leaked and we don't know the context before or after. The scene looks quite graphic, and from what I've seen so far, I do prefer the way Alex showed Angel's relationship with Valentino. However, people are operating off a short leaked clip. We'd have to wait.
Again, I'm not saying that the criticism is invalid. I sort of agree with you, Mr. A. Lamau. You like balancing it. You're here saying that, you know, both sides. I definitely hear you, both sides. The way I see it, if you don't have the context, just shut up. The episode is going to be coming out in a freaking week. Wait. See the context, or don't. No one's forcing you to watch it. But once you actually have the context, then you could legitimately cover it. Covering it without context is not fair. It's legitimately unfair. And no one's forcing you to watch it. So there's no reason to hate someone that's not forcing you to watch it. Then put a disclaimer on it first. I don't know. Maybe that's my take. It's like when I'm not going to click on something that'll make me uncomfortable and be like, wow, that made me uncomfortable. We should kill this guy. Especially when it's not out yet and you don't have the context for it.
Wait and see how it is depicted once the episode properly releases on the 19th. As for the stuff regarding Raph, I think it's justified for people to be upset. People are allowed their opinion on the Angel and Valentino ship, but I don't think going after Viv and other employees for just interacting with them is the right move at all. It's targeted harassment. There are people demanding proof from SA survivors, which is also messed up.
That's gross. And it's also none of your business. Imagine going to someone who says that they survived sexual assault, okay? And they do something that you don't like, right? The first thing that you do is not asking them to prove and demanding proof that they were sexually assaulted. Why the fuck are you entitled to that? They owe you nothing. They don't have to defend themselves to you. Who the hell are you?
Understand why people can't just calmly discuss the issue instead of resorting to harassment and victim blaming.
I don't understand. Why don't they just calmly do the issue? That's great. Why don't the Twitter people that make money and farm impressions through outrage not be outraged? God, I wonder why the people that are trying to suck clout out of something are doing it in a fashion that sucks clout out of it instead of just being normal. That's crazy.
There were Hazbin fans being sent death threats, which is pretty par for the course on Twitter in 2024, unfortunately. And the Cat in a Blender video was being circulated around as well. This isn't the first time that people have been harassed for liking a show, and it definitely won't be the last.
Dude, I get people in my audience harassed for following me on Twitter, okay? And I'm sorry, don't get me wrong. I feel bad that happens to you guys. That sucks. My best advice is just ignore it, but shit, man.
I've said in my previous videos, I hope that Viv can find the time to move off Twitter and onto Threads or another website. On Twitter, it quickly goes from rational criticism to outright harassment and hate incredibly quickly. If you have any thoughts on the situation, I'd love for you to leave them in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.
Don't worry, I left them, and I was very, very cancelable about my thoughts. Listen, I hate shipping in fiction, especially if the ship is just kind of gross. So people getting upset at someone for shipping Valentino and Angel, I mean, sure. I don't see why that should upset you as a person. You see, you as a person should have a whole ass life to deal with and not worry about someone else's cringe. That's my humble opinion. Gentlemen and female gentlemen, Hazbin Hotel Season 3 and 4 have been announced. There are also updates onto what is going to be going on in Season 2. There's a sneak peek for Season 2. And also, there is a new helluva boss short. An animation that's 420. Hilarious. An animation that is 420 and about the helluva boss crew. There's lots of stuff in the Vivzie land that we got to be covering today. So let's take our gloves off. We'll be getting into all of it ASAP. As you all know, I like helluva boss. Surprisingly, I don't remember getting canceled for liking helluva boss yet. I get canceled for other things, but not yet for this one. So we're trying to fucking collect the infinity stones of getting canceled for everything that I touch. All right, let's see. Season 3 and 4 announced. Let's see what this is all about.
As you might have seen in the title and thumbnail, we got some pretty huge Hazbin Hotel news today. I'll break it down. So today at the San Diego Comic-Con, we got some awesome news. The first comes in a tweet from the Hazbin Hotel Twitter. It reads,
Hazbin Hotel already has a Season 3 and 4? I am literally so excited! God, dude, you love to see indie animation going up in the world. But Nux, it's not indie animation, it's owned by Amazon. Shut up, it started as indie animation. It started as indie animation. Didn't you get canceled for calling someone a lolly from Hazbin? Oh, that's right. I forgot. I did actually get canceled in Hazbin Hotel. Thank you for reminding me, chat. I really appreciate you bringing up my my Vietnam War flashbacks for like that. Very cool. Yeah, I called a little girl a little lolly character, and people took that. People think that lolly is sexual. Lolly does not mean anything sexual. God damn it. Okay, lolly just means petite girl. Lolicon is someone that is attracted to lollies. Okay, that is a whole other fucking ballpark. Calling a petite character a lolly is not wrong or inaccurate or sexual, but they're still gonna cancel me for it again. But it doesn't even matter. Whatever. Who fucking cares? Who cares? Doesn't matter. I'll get canceled for everything at this point. Whatever.
The Hazbin Hotel is open for business. Season 3 and Season 4 are on the way.
Alright.
Included is a short little teaser video which I'll have rolling in the background. So obviously this is fantastic news. Season 1 of Hazbin Hotel was a huge success.
Yeah!
It makes logical sense for Amazon and A24 to want more seasons.
Huge W, baby! Huge W! Oh, God, we freaking take these every single day! Every single day! God damn! Love it! Ah, indie animation W, 4 seasons. This is crazy. I'd like to see the Acolyte get to Season 4. No, unironically, please get that to Season 4. I want to make fun of it for a few more years.
Personally, I'm not really shocked. From the way Viv talked about the show previously, she stated that she wanted as many seasons as possible. So this means as long as the show does well, it'll continue to be made. Compared to helluva boss, which is—
That's a little scary. As many seasons as possible is not what you like to hear from someone with a plot. Like an overarching plot. Like, when your story is like a detective show or whatever, then yeah, you could go for as many seasons as possible, because you could always come up with a new fucking bullshit season, okay, of a new arc, of a new villain that's now a new serial killer that the detectives could find. That you could always do. But when it comes to an overarching plot in a show like Hazbin Hotel, right, wanting to redeem the villains and stuff, it's not really a villain of the week story anymore. I don't know how you can adapt this to be something forever. I'd rather something have less seasons and a good ending than more seasons and lots of padding and shit. So just kind of hoping.
Is a very set-in-stone 4-season story. Additionally, at this event, Vivzie stated that Vox will be the main antagonist of Season 2.
Whoa! That's crazy! That's a revelation! Vox is gonna be the seasonal villain? I so did not see that coming. Wait, so Adam was the main villain of Season 1 and Vox is gonna be the main villain of Season 2? I did not think that's where the story was going. I thought for sure we would be dealing more with the angel-demon dynamic, but okay.
This makes a lot of sense, since Vox was a central character in Season 1.
Yeah,
however, a lot
but main villain? Nani?
of time had to be given to developing the rest of the cast, and especially Heaven. We've seen Vox's voice actor Christian Borle in the recording booth.
He doesn't look anything like a walking, living television.
Several times, which just further reiterates how many voice lines Vox is getting. Season 1 also clearly set up Vox and Alistair's rivalry.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I knew he would definitely. I thought he'd be like the B villain. I thought for sure that there would be like a main villain, a main antagonist for the overarching plot, and like a B villain that's going on in hell. So I thought the main villain would be like an angel, and the B villain would probably be Vox. I didn't consider him to be potentially the main antagonist. That's interesting.
Season 2, we'll delve into that a bit more, and perhaps we'll find out how they fell out and what their previous partnership was like.
Dude, fuck, I can't wait. I literally can't wait.
Vox was one of my favourite characters in Season 1, so I'm over the moon with this news. I really can't wait to see him again in Season 2, and
He says Vox was his favorite character? There's no way.
in Season 1, how they fell out and what their previous partnership was like. Vox was one of my favourite characters.
Okay, one of his favorite characters, thank God. That was terrifying. I was so scared that he was gonna say his favorite.
In Season 1, so I'm over the moon with this news.
Alright.
I really can't wait to see him again in Season 2, and I hope he gets a bunch more fun songs. So that's everything so far. Overall, I'm super excited for the future. It's been
Alright.
great watching this indie pilot grow into a fully fledged show.
I am fully with him on this. God, I am so 100% with him. It's so nice to see an indie story actually get this respect and love that it deserves. Let's begin.
What do you think about the news? Do you have any theories for Season 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah, my guess is there's gonna be gay sex. All right, you're gonna call it here. That's the pre-watch moment.
Thanks for 600,000 subscribers, and thanks for watching.
Hell yeah. All right. The next news. We keep going. There's more news. Apparently, there has been a little bit of a sneak peek for Season 2.
So today we got our first ever sneak peek of Hazbin Hotel Season 2, where it reveals one of the hotel's new guests, Baxter. Credit to @Levinster for the clip.
Nani? Who this guy? Who Baxter?
I'll play the footage and then discuss it after.
You know what I was really hoping for in Season 2? This is, in my favorite theory for Season 2, and I am hoping this is real. Please bring Adam back. Please let Adam reincarnate as a demon this time and join the hotel because he wants to get back into heaven. That would be the craziest fucking twist of all time. It would be so goated. You imagine? Doorbell rings. It's fucking Adam. Oh, Lord.
To the hazbin Hotel. And what is your name?
My name is Baxter.
Holy shit, he's a little gremlin piece of shit. Now that Serpentis is in heaven, everyone's gonna call me Baxter. I already know they're gonna do this. They are going to do this. They're gonna call me Nuxter for every single episode.
Ooh, Baxter, that's a fun name. Are you checking in with us?
I intend to, yes.
Oh,
Yes, indeed, yes.
that's great. Oh, look at your little lab coat. It's very cute. Are you an inventor?
Don't belittle me, woman.
I fucking love it. Don't belittle me, woman. Why is that? Everyone in chat's already going, Nuxter. What the fuck is that, Nux? Oh, dude, listen. Don't belittle me, woman.
Inventor, I am a scientist.
He's literally the fucking replacement for Serpentis, and I'm loving it immediately.
There's a difference. Some could classify me as a mad scientist.
Even as my laugh. Man. Oh, no.
Pentious was an inventor. That's so cool. I bet you're just like him.
If you're referring to that pompous snake, I'd like it known I am nothing like him.
Yeah, no, they even mentioned it. They even said he's like Serpentis. I'm cooked. I'm just cooked. Oh, my God, dude. I literally can't. I can't. All right, we're going to have to change my kick profile from Serpentious Nux to Baxter Nux when this comes out.
Hey, everyone, meet Pentious.
Baxter.
No, she even introduced him. I'm never gonna outlive this shit.
Right, Baxter. And you're here to be redeemed, Baxter. Pentious, Baxter.
I am here to study this fascinating concept of redemption. My hypothesis is that it's impossible.
Based on his redemption? Lol.
So that was pretty awesome.
That was very awesome. I love that.
Firstly, we gotta
Can't believe they made Nux the main character of both seasons. You mean they made me the disposable character of both seasons?
introduce to Baxter, the mad scientist. For those who aren't aware, Baxter
Oh shit. Cool design.
Baxter is an anglerfish demon and was originally part of the main cast way back in the Zoophobia era. He appeared a couple times in the background of Season 1, but originally he was meant to have a larger role and would have had a rivalry with Serpentius. However, ironically, Serpentius ended up taking Baxter's role instead. I've always
Pentious W, we take those.
theorized that Baxter is the one who helped Serpentius create his egg boys. From the
Egg boys! Rise up, egg boys! Subscribe if you are an egg boy.
Baxter is a lot smaller than in the pilot era, but like we saw him in Season 1, he's very similar appearance-wise. From the sounds of his voice, it reminds me a lot of Richard Horvitz. However, we don't have confirmation on who voices Baxter just yet. Personally, I really like the voice, and I think it fits him well. He reminds me a lot of Dexter from Dexter's Lab. What's really cool
Yeah, I see that,
is that Baxter's briefcase is alive and has a pair of legs and eyes resembling a crab.
What? That's so sick.
You can see his
Bro, you're all gonna get crab emotes, don't worry.
invention abilities on full display here, since he's one of the few characters in the series that can create living things. It'll be interesting
So Baxter is God.
to find out exactly how or why he invents these beings. And lastly, we saw Vaggie and Charlie being filmed by a bunch of news stations. So Season 2 will pick off right from Season 1 without a time skip.
Yep, that's what it looks like. Season 1 ends, they actually fought off and killed exorcists. This is huge news for the entire hell.
The hotel is likely famous because of the events of Season 1, so a bunch of new sinners are heading to the hotel to try and get redeemed. I'm interested to see who the new sinners will be, and I really hope that Crymini shows up. So that's everything. What did you think about the sneak peek?
That looks fucking awesome, honestly. That looks so sick. Alright, so apparently there has been news. Hazbin Hotel Season 2 latest updates. Serpentius will be an important character! Let's go! Huge dub, we take those. More time will be spent in heaven compared to Season 1! Let's go! Huge dub, we take those. Vox is a very big antagonist. Okay, very cool. The season will consist of 8 episodes. Alright, that's expected. Alistair's backstory will have a key focus. God, that's a W. Yo! Huge dub. Thanks for the 5 subs, Theo. Alright, voice recording for the season has already wrapped. Alright, cool. Season will have more songs than Season 1. More songs than Season 1. God damn it. First animated clip featuring Baxter was released. There will be a fun, sexy song between Charlie and Vaggie. I told you there was going to be gay sex. I told you. I told you. You know, I feel like that Hazbin Hotel has gay characters and doesn't feel like they're pushing some kind of agenda or anything. Because they're not! It's an indie animation made by people that just wanted to make something that they love. God, it's... The wait won't be as long as it took to release the pilot... Between the release of the pilot and Season 1. Also fantastic news. Bro? This is sick. This is sick. This is honestly sick. I am so excited for all that. But anyway, let's get into the main event. 420. A lot of people know 420 is Weed Day. True intellectuals know that April 20th is actually Hitler's birthday, which is in my guess of what Vivziepop is referencing here, okay? Probably Hitler's birthday, not weed, is my guess, honestly, which is pretty unfortunate. I'd cancel Vivziepop if I were Twitter right now, so. All right, let's see. That was sarcasm, by the way. All right, let's see what this is all about. I heard it was pretty good. Target, ? Location, Antarctica! Description of man-eating beast. Okay. Client wants us to hunt down the man-eater that killed him and now poses a risk to his fellow researchers. Personally, I think he's a little bitch. He's already dead, so why go through the trouble of hiring... Why are you still typing? Why are you ready to go this all down? Mox, I swear to fucking Satan, you are beyond stupid. I love it so much. Yo! Wait! That was the Asmodeus crystal! This is the Asmodeus crystal! This isn't the book! This is actually fitting into the canon timeline! Okay!
That was a big jump. Christ,
that was a big jump. It's almost like he's not used to the crystal yet.
Dick, I'm freezing my low red cock off. Where?
Based, honestly. What did they go, Montreal?
Is that thing supposed to be?
The client said it was near the research station.
That research station?
Well, that's a nice coincidence, bro. Please, if they see like some massive fucking ice wall and prove the Earth is flat, this will be the greatest episode of cartoon history.
Oh, crumbs.
Oh,
that
God.
can't be good.
Oh, yikes.
Whoa! Yowzers schmauzers. They just walked into a lobby of Lethal Company with what's his face, Russian Badger on the crew.
Yeah.
What happened here?
These guys were torn to shreds.
Thank you for that. This is like the fucking detective in every detective show. It's like you find there's a fucking dead body in the room, like with 6 knives stuck in the guy's abdomen, and you'll have the fucking detective look at the forensic scientist and be like, "What do you think the cause of death is?" Then the guy will say, "Lacerations to the abdomen." And be like, "Yeah, thank you."
I've seen beasts less brutal than this.
What and or who could have done this?
Check his pulse, see if it's fatal. What the fuck is that? A seal? Is that a giant seal?
That probably.
Honestly, pretty good hypothesis.
Okay, Moxie, get up top. Millie, cover the entrances. I got it here.
Yes,
Yo! No sexual innuendos. This man is serious.
sir.
Just a big fucking seal. That's the enemy they came up with. They could have gone with the Yeti. They're literally in Antarctica. They could have done the Yeti or something. They just make a big seal with battle scars.
You got him, Mox?
Yes, sir.
Sweet, let's turn him into some Swiss cheese.
Yeah! Wait a second, what? The breath. Bro, what the fuck is he doing? Gun breathing 4th form? Well, was that a zombie? They fucking smoked that bitch. Well, it's nice to see Moxie actually not miss, right? Because Moxie missed the shot in the beginning. So you see that Moxie is actually getting better.
Yes, he met his match. Eat shit in hell, polar
He's still gonna move, isn't he? Still gonna start moving.
slut. Good job,
Polar slut? That's a seal.
Mox. Now let's get out of this frozen fuckhole.
Hold it, Blitz. Look at these marks. They weren't made by no bullets. And here, bite marks.
Shit.
What? What's the problem?
This slut wasn't running toward us.
Why does he keep calling him a slut? America breathing 1st form castle doctrine.
He was running away.
Oh shit, there's zombie apocalypse arc. Zombies are canon in Hell of a Boss.
From something else.
Look!
You're kidding.
Drop him!
Bro, Moxie's a fucking monster. Dude! He's like Hawkeye. Except way funnier.
Shit.
Zombie penguins! I love this show.
Fuck, that's like 10.
Well,
Fuck, it's like 10? Is that what he said?
Shit. Fuck, that's like 10.
Yeah, that's like 10 of them. Damn, that's crazy. There's like a whole fucking 10 of those Gunthers over there. Please let fucking Ice King walk out of a big castle and say, Gunther, 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 and get them all to fucking show up.
maybe those ones are nice.
Who are they? Who are they? Yeah. Oh, slurs. The penguin just said slurs. Oh shit.
Not! Run!
I'm just saying. Saying slurs, okay?
They're not!
All right.
Run!
Not Hitler salute. All right. 420. Okay. Hitler's birthday date. April 20. 420. It all fits. It all came together. Someone cancel Vivziepop right now. Nazi zombie penguins. We've lived long enough to see this happen. Wrong arm though. Maybe he's a lefty penguin. I will not be showing this to my grandfather. They just all show up yelling slurs at them in penguin language. This is the greatest twist of all time.
You get us out of here!
What's the hold up, Blitz?
I can't just make it go, okay? I'm still getting used to this fucking thing.
No, no, if only they had the book. Dude, I'm like, Nux, I'm choking. What was that? Listen. Listen, that's what they call edgy game theory. Matt Pat, you could have replaced yourself with me, bro. I would have literally cooked so hard.
Damn it. It's from lust. You can't.
It's from lust. It has performance anxiety. Bro can't get it up. Bro can't get it up.
Just brute force it.
There is a conspiracy theory, after all, that Nazis did go to Antarctica on their searches, right? So, like, if you think about it, maybe the reason why the Nazis were in Antarctica was for Nazi penguin zombie discoveries, right?
You gotta try.
Now, this is the over-analysis everyone wanted.
I don't know. I've never been good at this shit.
Use your tongue.
I love him so much.
How do you not know how to do this?
Moxie,
This is like the worst JoJo stand of all time.
I'm a fucking top.
Damn.
Try
It's not easy out here.
spelling the alphabet.
A, C, B.
With your tongue.
I knew that.
Oh, C.
Moxie's at the bottom. He's using his bottom energy to activate the crystal. Oh my god. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, damn.
That's how to.
He's all shot, bro. I did not see this coming at all. Bro, Chaz was like, what that tongue do?
Can we go, please?
He's a professional bottom. A, B, C, D, E, top G, and my car, and my bitches, and my lawn.
Hey, this bitches.
God, she's such a fucking monster. Well, that's crazy. The way she killed those Nazi penguins, and yes, this is canon. No, they killed Gunther and Gunther. Oh my god, they gassed them. This is true irony. Eat schnitzel in hell. One got away. Oh shit. One got away! No! The dark one had survived! I'm just saying, she literally killed them in a gas chamber. Listen, I don't want to be that guy, but I think I'm onto something here. If you made it to the end, click one of these two videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on game. Stay weird, man.